get it done.
Get the inside info before it becomes outside info. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at 1580 The Fanatic.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, Greg Powell, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose pushing the buttons in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Hell else you're going to do when Facebook, Instagram, and everything else is down. The only thing that's working is the Twitter and the YouTube. So if you were going to watch us on the old Facebook and you're completely screwed, well, maybe now's the time to go over to Twitter and follow us on Twitter at 1580 The Fanatic. Simple.
Yeah, you know, I expected this after not only did ASU beat the UCLA Bruins on Saturday night, stayed up and watched that game. Also, the Arizona Cardinals dominated the Sheep of Los Angeles.
Right.
And,
there's even more to it than just that.
And the Colorado Rockies fell to the mighty Diamond Snakes in Colorado to end the 2021 baseball season. But Jeffro, you've got what now? You've got some sort of other news, other things that have happened?
Many things, many other things have happened. It was actually a pretty damn great weekend. I mean, great weekend to set us up for what should be a pretty good football game tonight with the Raiders and Chargers coming up at 4:30 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. But let me just take you down the list of great things real fast. First, all right. Today is National Taco Day.
Well, hey, you can't ever beat a day like tacos.
That's right. And I have been promised steak tacos tonight.
Very nice.
Yes, that's right. Steak tacos. So by the way, I don't know if you know where you know how long the taco's been around. About 500 years.
Yeah.
It turns out in 1520, Cortez brought the tortilla, or named it that, or whatever, brought it back to Spain. And between then and 1914, tacos. And then the way I say 1914, because that's when it started showing up in recipes and stuff as tacos. And then in 1962, Taco Bell came along, and the rest is history. But we're not having Taco Bell tacos tonight. We're having house tacos, which are way better. So very happy about that. That's one great big good thing. By the way, Keon, do you like the tacos?
I love the tacos.
So where do you go for tacos in town? Has anybody given you a good place yet?
I've been experimenting. I've been driving around, trying different places.
Right.
Tacos Calafia. I went to there after that Rattlers game I went to.
Okay.
And I've made several return trips since. I really do like that place.
Okay, so let me. I don't know the place you're talking about, but let me just tell you how to find the best taco place. You have to pull up to it. It's got to be hole in the wallish, and it's one of those things where you got to always be glancing over at your car and worrying about the cops showing up. If that's happening, that is an authentically good taco place. You know, get yourself some good street tacos. Get yourself some good stuff. And don't be afraid of the green chili. That's the good stuff, man. The green chili or the red chili?
I prefer the red chili, but I'll eat both chili.
I love the green chili, although it messes with me. I've got about a 3-hour time bomb in my stomach once I eat green chili. And let's just say there's a Jack in the Box I'm not allowed to go back in. So, so that's it. Taco Day, National Taco Day. Not too damn bad. That's right there, right?
Good news.
Yeah, sure. And then on Saturday, I traveled to see my son play football, and boy, I tell you what, he killed it. We were worried that over the course of the COVID non-season that some of these kids may have lost a step, but holy crap, my kid, number 14, Milo, dominated the game immediately in the first quarter. He plays both sides of the ball, but as a wide receiver, 2 passes come to him, 2 completions, one for about 47 yards after catch. Both touchdowns.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
I was so proud and happy with him. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. And then of course, most kids would be a little upset. They pulled him out of the game so the backup could have a chance, him and all the other starters. So they went with the B squad once they realized, okay, well, we have a comfortable lead. Let's get some of these kids who haven't played this year a chance to get some time. He had the best attitude about it. He was smiling. He was clapping. He was jumping up and down when they were doing well, and didn't Didn't have an ego at all about the whole thing. And then, of course, then they tell me this later about my son. He gets, I guess, on both sides of the ball touchdowns. Lots of interceptions. He is a cornerback. He gets he gets a lot of interceptions, and he has scored touchdowns on defense. So I can't wait to see that. So, but yes, very proud of my boy. They just killed the other team, and I'm looking forward. And this is even better. Here's the other good news: when he gets to high school and plays in high school next year, he's going to be a Colt.
Well, okay. All right.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even have to buy any new T-shirts or anything. I'm all set. Just got to make sure it doesn't say Indianapolis on it. But so very happy, very proud about that on Saturday. That was great. The Diamondbacks ended their season with at least a win with a walk-off homer from Van Meter, beating the Rockies 5-4. And then they also did not suck the worst that they ever have sucked. They tied how much they had sucked in the past, but the record is 111 games. They lost 110. So, silver lining.
Dubious honor indeed. Yes.
I think it's a very good thing to not have that record. It's worth it.
It's, listen, it's not much of a silver lining after the season that they had, but you'll take any positive you can get, right, Randy?
Yeah, you'll take a positive. A lot of people were complaining on the Twitterverse and on the webs and all that business about the Diamondbacks can't even get losing correctly. They should have sucked to get the first overall pick. Why?
Like it matters.
Why? They're just going to get the first overall pick and trade him. The kid, whoever they pick, is going to become a future Hall of Famer, and they're just going to trade him away. Else. So why? Why does it matter? You know what? Just go and get the second pick. Who cares?
I agree. And it takes a while to find out what you've got in a baseball draft. It's not the same thing as, football or basketball. Boy, look at me on the camera there. Look at it. I got sunburned. There's another great thing. I actually have skin color today. I don't normally have that. My melatonin works. It's the Irish thing, though. It was a sunburn. It'll look slightly tan for about a day and then back to pale. So I got about 2 days of looking like, I have some sort of blood pressure.
How about
That's not bad. That's not bad. Then how about ASU beating UCLA? That's right. UCLA. Here's the thing. I don't like this about Arizona State University. They are a second half team, kind of like old Tom Brady and the Patriots used to be. But that means they also can be a first half loser, meaning they can lose the entire game in the first half if they don't have a dominant second half. Now they got lucky against UCLA, knocked them out of the AP poll, found themselves back in. Congratulations. ASU is now 22 again in the AP. But it was, at the first half, I was like, oh boy, this thing's just going to go back and forth. And that wasn't a very impressive first half. But, I am an ASU fan. Randy, ASU fan.
Oh, yeah.
Keon, what was your take on the Arizona State's defeat of UCLA 42-23?
I like you, am worried about the first halves, but I'm worried about all of them because they've all been less than stellar first halves. But when they get rolling, they can beat anybody. That is what I took away from that game because that was a good UCLA team. That was a team that opened up the year beating LSU, and LSU has turned out to be actually a quality football team as well. So, I mean, this is a good UCLA squad that got punched in the face in the second half of that game.
And also, I saw a little bit more of that ASU can't get out of their own damn way. There was a couple of times they had too many men on the field. All right, guys, look, if I'm Coach Herm Edwards, and by the way, I didn't see any fire out of Coach Herm Edwards. There were mistakes being made, and he's standing over there on the sidelines, mouth kind of open, looking bewildered. But anyway,
fire will come in practice.
Aside from that, you're in the game. This is game 5, ladies and gentlemen, and you've been practicing for how long? And this is game 5, and you still have the opportunity to get too many men on the damn field and hurt yourself. Hey, coaches, let's get together here and figure out who our squad is, and you players pay attention to what the hell's going on.
Well, I'm going to blame the coaches more than the players because we all know kids are idiots. So, if them idiots ain't ready to do it right, then the coaches have to be held responsible. But anybody under the age of 30 is a moron, if you ask me.
Look, I'll take the win. In my opinion, it was a little sloppy. I'll take the win, though. Congratulations, ASU.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see how many people listen to the show are under 30.
Yeah.
Start texting.
Wait a
Up
second.
yours, O'Brien. Up yours. Come on, I'm just serious. Anyway, so the ASU game, that was a nice thing to have happen. And they're, like I said, they're back on the AP poll at 22. But at the end of the season, it's not going to matter how many times they, tiptoe in or out of a poll. We want to see them start to do a lot better, so they're comfortably in a good situation. Also, great news for you, Arizona, this weekend. They did not lose a game. And that's a miraculous achievement by Jed Fisher and the Arizona Pussycats.
Yeah, that's because they didn't lose because they didn't play.
Well, I was going to try to give any of the hapless Arizona fans something to be happy about, just for at least a moment, Randy.
Yeah. They didn't lose because they didn't play.
Yeah, they had a bye week, which is the only time they're going to not lose a game. So every other weekend, do they have another bye week? They're probably praying for another bye week.
No, I'm pretty sure they've looked ahead. Yeah,
you Arizona fans, COVID is still running rampant. You can always hope for an outbreak. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got I don't know how and who you pray to, but that's about your only shot at having a weekend where you don't lose a game this season. So. Go ASU. 888-368-1580. Let's see. Mr. Wilbur says, if I did a promo for the Blender, it would go something like this. The Blender, the fastest 2 hours in sports radio. We're on for 2.5 hours a day. What are you talking about? Yeah, we got hosed on the whole time off deal completely. And probably only you guys are listening right now because people always forget that we're on at 2 on Monday. So I don't even know what the point of this is, to be honest.
Generally during this time, it's those foul mouth guys from Barstool, those bleepity bleepers that are on there talking about bleeping betting and bleeping stuff.
Yeah. It ain't bleeping bad. Well, Scratch Me Because says best tacos in town is Tacos Chihuas. Chiwas. Did I say that right? I don't know. Or did he just make me say something filthy? Oh boy. Mr. Pringle says, hey Randy, big time win for the Cardinals, huh? Didn't see that one coming on the road. Complete domination. Yep, we are going to talk about that in a moment. I just wanted to get to some of these other things first, but Cardinals will be the first game we talk about. We're going to talk about all the games. Yes, we all have a winner this weekend. We'll talk about that in a moment. I really enjoy watching this Cardinals team, although when they have Chase Edmonds, Rondale Moore, Captain Kirk, and little Kyler out there at the same time, sometimes I have to squint to find them.
Yeah.
Fed Fan says, I'm a Sun Devil, but does anyone on that team know how to count? Seriously, how many times do you call for 12 men on the field and not figure out how to count?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Sloppy. But at least
it's a group effort.
At least they did not penalize themselves into an L this week. They went out, took care of business, beat the UCLA Bruins, and there is your positive. There's your sunshine. Now let's roll with it.
Yeah, Fed Fan says, that gridiron games for me is like it was 2 years ago. I'm picking teams that look good one week, and then they don't know how to play football the next week. How about you, Tennessee Titans? How do you lose to the Jets? Anyways, go Cardinals, she says.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, this is going to be that kind of year. Up is down and down is up. And I didn't think the Jets were going to win that game either. Chief Skulls Burner says, afternoon, gents. 2 p.m. today, huh? So we get 4 hours of greatness versus 1 hour of crap, 3 hours of greatness. No, you get 2.5 hours of Blender. And then with any luck, with Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner, you'll get about 3 or 4 hours of greatness. That's coming up later. Bruce's buddy says, I'm over 30. Sadly, a lot of younger guys smarter than me, but hey, Cincy College and NFL looking good. Okay. Cincy College? What's he saying, Keon? What's Cincy College?
Cincinnati, the University of Cincinnati. The Bearcats, they beat Notre Dame.
Damn it.
Or maybe he's saying since college.
Yeah, I never know what to read on this text line, to be honest. But congratulations. That was a bummer to see Notre Dame lose, but whatever. Scratch Me Because says, my favorite chant when I went to ASU in the 80s was UCLA. UCLA, eat my shorts. In the 80s? Wow. Okay. Charlie Boy says, hi, guys. Okay, who got late to work today, huh? It's not you guys to start the show late. Anyway, what are you talking about, Charlie Boy? Cardinals are 4-0. Yes, Randy, pour me a soda, please, and thank you, my man.
I mean, absolutely, Charlie boy. You worked hard for that soda. You're going to get your best soda shot right here.
All right, we are going to talk about all the football games. And yes, we are going to start with your Arizona Cardinals, Randy. I promise you that. But just let's take a moment here and talk about the Major League Baseball postseason right here. This is going to be interesting. While we're all watching football tonight, the craptastic Yankees hopefully are going to get dominated by the Red Sox. That's what I want, Randy. That's what I want. Is there any chance of that coming true?
Well, it's happening in Boston, I believe, and the Yankees have taken 3 of the last 4 games against Boston in Boston. So, and right now, having won, they're on sort of an emotional high, having won on a walk-off by that enormous right fielder they have there, Judge, whatever the hell his name is. And so this could be a downfall for the Red Sox. We can only hope that the Bostonians can get together and get this team looking good, because you're playing the first game of the postseason. It's time to take down the evil empire. Do it for all of us, Red Sox. Do it for all of us.
Damn right. From Boston. So it's one game, right? It's the one game playing, right?
Yeah. One game.
And then if there's any God in the heavens, Los Angeles will lose tonight too. Is that tonight? They're playing tonight, or is that tomorrow?
Is it tonight? No,
I believe that's tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow night. Cardinals, Dodgers, let's go. Redbirds, let's go.
Yeah, and after that, we'll sort out who I'm rooting for, who I'm not rooting for. Because if the Yankees lose, well, then I don't have to worry about just picking whoever plays them. Then I can start to say, all right, who do I like here? Who do I like in this mix of teams and the Major League Baseball playoff bracket? But we'll worry about that another time. As much as the Arizona Diamondbacks lost 110 games to tie their worst season ever, well, I think anybody's worst season ever. The Seattle Mariners have a dubious distinction right now. It's worth noting. Seattle Mariners, in 44 years of existence, they've had more ruptured testicles than they have had playoff appearances.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
They've had 5 ruptured testicles, and they've only had 4 playoff appearances. How's that for a stat?
Yeah,
that is one hell of a stat.
Yeah, it's rough.
Also very painful to think about.
Hey, you're busting your balls. That's all. All right. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
You might not know it, but your small business IT systems can leave you and your customers vulnerable. At Affinity Technology, we provide peace of mind by ensuring your computer systems are working and are safe from hackers and outside threats. We solve technology problems for small business. No confusing tech talk or black box setups. If it plugs in, we work with it. Contact us today at atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com. Affinity Technology.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona. Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene. You need to tune in to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Everybody, Mark Asher, about to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time, and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now, you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
8 Out presents Terrifying Jobs.
Bull Rider, take 2.
Today, we're talking with Clifford Maxwell, a rodeo bullfighter. His job? Distract raging bulls from going after thrown riders. Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked up.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by EBA and this station.
Providing you with the latest sports news, commentary, and analysis.
We have a soap opera called The Days of Our Lives. Is that still on the air?
If you keep on, if you
Days
keep
of
popping
Our
off,
Lives.
guess what? We're gonna have General Hospital going on it. That's where you're going.
I guess you only have one life to live, huh?
That is probably the scariest 30 seconds of radio that we all pop the soap opera there.
Jacobs and Helly on Arizona's new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And I have to correct myself from earlier. I thought I saw the Yankees and Red Sox were playing today at 5. Turns out they're playing tomorrow at 5, which I guess makes a whole lot more sense. And then will also enable us to have to pay attention to it the last hour of the show and get to watch the rest of it. You know, Lord willing, and the Red Sox beat the hell out of the Yankees. And I'll be sure to check that out. So, hey, listen up, everybody. We have a new weekly prize for the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. So if you pick the most games right this week, you get to pick out what? Your favorite NFL jersey. That's right. Brought to you by Sports Trivia Quiz. Heard 3 times daily here on 1580 The Fanatic. So weekly winners of the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Contest, you get to choose whatever NFL jersey you want. Any player, past or present, any size, home or away. It doesn't matter. You can wear it, hang on the wall as a trophy, give it as a gift. That part's up to you. But I just thought you guys would like to know we got a new prize for that. 888-368-1580. FedFan says, I'm going to go cheer for the San Francisco Giants now that the Diamondbacks are done. They were my mom's favorite baseball team when she was alive. Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice. And I'll be right there cheering with if they make it against the Yankees. So, and Bruce's buddy says, no, University of Cincinnati, Randy.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you never know on this show. Thank you. Thank you for the correction.
There's many things we don't know on this show. I was so proud of my son watching him play football this weekend. I didn't get a chance to ask you guys. Did you guys have a good weekend? Randy, did you do some smoking? You do some have some fun this weekend?
Oh, I had a great time. Like I said, the Sarge and I stayed up and we drank some beverages and watched the ASU game. And then yesterday, if I must say so myself, I smoked an amazing tri-tip. Tri-tip.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Keon, what would you do?
I drowned in football, which is always a good thing and always a good weekend. There was a lot of great college football games on Saturday, and then some really entertaining games on Sunday I got to see too. So yeah, just had a fantastic weekend. Hung out with my brother a bunch. It was good.
Yeah. How did you feel about, like, we do the Keon Rose college football dance party every Friday at 5:20. So how, when you give that analysis, how well does it stand up to what happens on Saturday?
I think it stands up pretty well. Granted, the one that sticks out in my mind that I got very, very wrong was the Maryland against Iowa. That game was going on while we were doing the dance party. And then as soon as the show was over, I looked at the TV. That was a blowout. Maryland wasn't even close. They were just getting destroyed. But the other picks went pretty well.
Good for you. Yeah, it sounds like you probably had a better Saturday than I did a Sunday in picks. Boy, last week I had 15 right. This week is not looking good. Like I said, a lot of these games, just unexpected outcomes. Well, at least to me, there's other people who did pretty damn good on the NFL fan pick'em over there, the Harmon Solar contest. We'll get to that tomorrow. But right now, what do you say we talk about the game that mattered the most to our friend Randy White? Yes, the Arizona Cardinals, and what happened with the LA Rams at SoFi Stadium. Randy,
boy, I got to tell you, the Cardinals looked very focused. They looked very intent on making sending a message They looked very, very straightforward on they were going to beat the Rams. Like I said, I'm not surprised. I called it going into this weekend. I called it. It would be the massacre on in Hollywood, and so it was. And look, game over. We move on. Next time they come over here to the Silver Nest, and there'll be another Ram roast in the Silver Nest.
So I think the Cardinals are the only team that survived undefeated at 4-0. I mean, the Vegas Raiders have a chance to do that tonight here on 1580 The Fanatic, but Denver lost and the Rams lost. Carolina lost. And so that's it. It's just the Cardinals at the moment. And of course, some of the completely defeated teams stayed completely defeated. Except for, one that really bites my ass. But let's talk about that game with the Rams. How'd you feel about the victory there? Did you feel pretty confident? Did you love everything you saw in the game? How are you? Were you on a roller coaster of emotions?
I really wasn't. And I can't say that I was. I was always looking forward to when the other shoe dropped, and it never did. This was a dominating performance by the Arizona Cardinals. And they have nothing to hang their head over. They went in, took care of business. They did not let their emotions get the best of them. The Rams didn't seem to have any answers for what the Cardinals were doing offensively. And congratulations, by the way, to that offensive line for the Arizona Cardinals. Congratulations on them performing the way they did, holding a very, very, very good defensive line in check and in tow, and allowing Kyler Murray and this offense to do what they had to do. Chase Edmonds looked amazing. The receiving core. And then how about that defense? They were putting pressure on Matt Stafford all day. They did not let him go deep, early in the game to try to take away the momentum. There was just so many things for me as a Cardinals fan to be celebrating. Last night was great. I'm still riding the high today.
Yeah, the entire time we were watching the game, I kept my opinions to myself because my wife and the boy were cheering, having a good time, and her brother was there, and we were all just enjoying it. But I was doing the same thing you were doing. I was like, okay, all right, come on. It's the Rams. Any moment now, somebody's going to go bleep crazy, and it's just, you're right. It never happened. And I guess this Arizona Cardinals defense is just like, I still contend they are just a couple of injuries away from absolute disaster. But right now, they're just doing an amazing job on both sides of the ball.
I mean, I agree with you. But what team is not a couple of key injuries away from being really stricken and have to come up with a whole idea?
I tell you, but the problem is if I try to use them as an example, it's not going to go well because you just beat them yesterday. That Rams defense has always been pretty good and solid. So I can't even use them as an example. And as I looked at this game and you walk away from this and you're looking at all the other teams, I think the Arizona Cardinals are the best team in the NFL right now, period. The only other team that I think will give you a run for your money is going to be the Buffalo Bills.
Well, I would have to agree 110%. The Bills looked amazing this weekend, and I expect the Bills to go very deep once again in the playoffs, if not capture some sort of a Super Bowl berth. But listen, the Arizona Cardinals cannot give up here. They need to go in this week against the 49ers at the Silver Nest with that same intensity, that same focus, do a job that they need to be prepared for. Don't give up. Don't let the emotions kind of fall down and then go into this game like you've really done something, because you've done nothing. It's game number 4. You're 4-0. You really should be 3-1, in my opinion, my humble opinion. The Vikings beat your ass. They just missed a field goal to do it. So listen, bottom line is Arizona Cardinals, they still have work to do, but I'm going to enjoy this for a few days.
Still, some timeouts were taken that made no sense.
As always. And I wondered about this because I don't know how far the Arizona Cardinals can go, what their ceiling is. I do think one of my takeaways was it is time to start talking about them in that championship contender kind of conversation. No, that doesn't wait. No, it doesn't mean that
don't plan the parade.
There's no parade. I'm not saying to talk about them like they're going, but when you start talking about teams that can win it, that offense is a blowtorch. They cut through everybody. And the only team that I think could beat the Arizona Cardinals right now is the Arizona Cardinals, which, to Jeffrey's point about the timeouts.
Yeah. And Cliff Kingsbury's like, challenge accepted.
Cliff Kingsbury is the ceiling of this team. I have no idea what he's going to do on any given week. I don't know how he's going to manage the clock. Sometimes he does stupid things that allow teams to be in games that should not be in games. The reason why, Randy contends that the Vikings should have beat the Cardinals is because of Cliff Kingsbury. The Vikings don't even get a chance at that field goal if he manages the clock properly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that the Cardinals should be talked about in that conversation. But Cliff Kingsbury is going to be like there's the stone around their neck this entire season. And I don't know how far they can go if he's going to be like that.
Jeffrey, I think most people that looked at this team, the ones that were not, boo-hooing about Kingsbury and Keim going out and getting old men to come in and play this team. I think the people, the genuine,
I said that a lot.
The genuine fans that really are hoping this team does well. They have to be thrilled today. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can say. Yeah, clock management still an issue, but you get to a point yesterday, and you were just sitting there, kind of bewildered, like, well, what happened?
This is actually happening.
I mean, this team looked good. They looked focused. They looked prepared. And they didn't make any stupid moves. Kyler Murray's passing. You can say what you want about him. You can put in all the short jokes if you want to, but that guy, his accuracy is incredible.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I had a conversation with the kid yesterday. We're like, how is he doing this? Because I said, well, it's pretty simple. I've watched this enough to see what happens. If he's in the pocket, who's he throwing to? A tight end. Why? Because they're generally 6'5". If he busts out of the pocket, then he can see the entire field there, and it's easier for him to make those connections. So, I mean, I'm not trying to make short jokes. I'm telling you right now, with a lot of short receivers, he's doing, that's what you have to do. He has to break outside of the tackle box, out of the pocket, and be able to see those guys downfield. And you're right, Randy. He does it. He does it well. And that guy, I think, is going to be your MVP this year if this keeps up.
I 100% agree. I don't know if anybody is playing the position at the same level. Like maybe Derek Carr. Derek Carr's actually got like a hell of a year too under his belt so far. Those are the only two guys I can think of that are playing the position at that level. But Kyler gives you that added dimension of escapability. When things break down, he can get outside of the pocket. And when you're that fast, usually you think a guy is like Michael Vick. He's trying to run downfield, make guys miss. Kyler is just trying to buy more time to throw the ball and kill you with a 40-yard bomb, which he does so regularly. It is insane. And this is actually what we thought the Rams offense was going to look like. Mm-hmm. But the Rams can score, but they can't score like the Cardinals.
And how about AJ Green yesterday? Money. Just able to make catches when they needed a big catch. There he was, ran his routes like everybody knows he can. I'm so happy for my team today. I don't have a lot of negative energy about what happened, whether they called timeouts at the right point or not.
How can you?
It was a wonderful
negative, but it's again in the context. And I know Big Steve from the main event was actually railing against the thought process. He's like, well, what does this guy got to do? Talk to me at the end of the season, Big Steve. That's what that guy's got to do. He's got to make the playoffs. He's got to actually take this team in there and get some stuff done. Because, am I wrong? Did they start the season last year? Was it 5-1? They started the season very similarly, and then they fell apart. And a lot of what was talked about on this show, Randy, I was pretty sure was the fact that there was some bad coaching involved, right?
Yeah, I think there was some bad coaching, bad calls, but it seems like, and I think you're right. I think they did have 5 wins or 5-1 or, 5-2, something like that. But
they won 5 of their first 7 games last year.
To go in and take on Los Angeles, who, by the way, has a psychological advantage on you. We've taken your lunch money and kicked your ass every day at school. Now what are you going to do? And to go in there and finally stand up and play the kind of football you're expected to, and to come away with a win. And you can't say anything else other than, and I love all the national networks. Well, Los Angeles had a bad day. Of course, hockey, they got their butts kicked, and Arizona played dominating really, really good football.
You are correct. 37-20. It was. There was never a moment where you felt like you kept expecting the Rams to do something, but then you got to a point where, as you're watching it, after a couple quarters, you're like, I don't think this is going to. This is firmly in the hands of the Cardinals right now.
Yeah,
all the respect in the world. Kyler Murray, 24 of 32, 268 yards, and to your point about scampering outside of the pocket. He only had 39 yards rushing. So if everybody's going to say that he was doing a lot of, getting a lot of yardage on his feet, no, he was doing a lot of scampering left to right to avoid getting killed. Of course, he didn't have to even seem to do a whole lot of that, Randy. You're right. That O-line seemed like it held up really nicely yesterday.
Yeah, just a really good game plan. I'm really happy. Don't take this from me, all you haters out there. Don't take it from me.
Yeah, and don't think that I'm doing that.
No, I don't think that. No, I'm not. But here comes what's his name, Wake and Bake, and all these 40 Whiner fans. I know what's going to happen this week. All the 40 Whiner fans are going to come out of the woodwork. They're too stoned
to know we're on early, so we'll avoid that day.
I'm going to get all the whiners will take care of. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Mr. Wilbert says, Randy, Jeffrey's given your line, your O-line of crap. Blow whistle on him. What are you talking about?
No, I didn't hear anything derogatory.
What are you talking about, Wilbert?
Not at all.
Bruce's buddy says Joe Burrow will be the comeback player of the year, maybe, or it will be Dak Prescott. We can talk about that a little more later on. Scratch me because says Jimmy Garoppolo hurt again. Trey Lance versus the Cardinal defense. Thoughts? Well, I went on fantasy football and picked up the Cardinals defense. Because I saw that coming. I'm like, oh, I got to have that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready.
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679.
Maureen saved big shopping epic daily deals at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. And with her brand new tableware, everyone's welcome at Maureen's table. All of her family, friends, even her neighbor with the pet. Hey, has anyone seen a ferret around here? Found it. Dig into Amazon's epic daily deals. Spend less, smile more.
If you're considering refinancing or getting a home loan, listen up. This is Dale Hellestray, and when you need a mortgage, the team I use is led by my good friend, Jeff Locks, and here's why. Jeff and his team negotiate with over 50 lenders to find the best possible deal. Your home has gone way up in value over the past year, so why not utilize your home equity to reduce your monthly expenses or even pay off some debts? Interest rates are still at all-time lows, and if you obtained your current mortgage prior to 2020, you can save a lot of money. Here's the best part. There's absolutely no lender fees. Jeff is truly Arizona's low-cost lender with over 30 years of experience. So call Jeff Locks, and if Jeff can't save you money, you'll get a free $50 Amazon gift card. This is a winning play, so call Jeff today, 480-202-0692. That's 480-202-0692.
Jeff Locks, NMLS number 1003782, National Mortgage License number 181106, Bear Financial Group, AZMB-0904774, Equal Housing Opportunity.
your new home for primetime NFL games at Super Bowl 56. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Oh, man. See, I was all happy and had all sorts of good news, all sorts of nice things from the weekend, and now this.
What's happened?
Oh, I just realized there's no Manning cast. I'm going to have to watch the regular stupid Monday Night Football broadcast with those jackasses. I hate those guys. But here's some good news to kind of wash that out. One of my favorite people, Bubba Wallace, has won the Yellowwood 500. They had a rain out yesterday, so they finished that race today, and now he has become the second black driver to win a cup race. So good for Bubba Wallace,
Which is fantastic. I watched the race. It ended. It was rain shortened. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I knew that it was postponed yesterday.
Yeah, today's race was rain shortened.
Okay.
They had about 70 laps to go, and the rains came. So they got past the halfway point, which made it an official race. And by the way, Bubba Wallace had to avoid a pretty significant wreck on the way to getting that victory. And it was just after that wreck, he positioned himself to get in front and have the lead there when the yellow flag came out. And that's how he ended up. The rains came and they could not get the track dry, so they had to conclude the race. Congratulations to Bubba Wallace and the 23XI Racing, Michael Jordan, the owner and proprietor of that team.
Yeah, another good part of the story too. But here's the thing, though, you being Mr. Racing, are people going to take this win of Bubba Wallace's and put a big old asterisk on it saying, well, it wasn't a full race. Come on, Bubba Wallace is not that good.
I mean, probably, but there are haters all the time. But yeah, you got to, at least you have to be able to have your car in the right position to be running up front and not 2 laps down at the tail end of the damn pack when the rains come. Bubba Wallace is a wonderful driver. He's a young driver, and I think as time goes on and he continues to be mentored and continues to learn things, I think he could potentially be a multiple champion, season champion in NASCAR.
Well, I've always enjoyed watching him race if I do watch racing, because I know how many people holding up Confederate flags in the stands are probably just really pissed about it. 888-368-1580.
No
Mr. Pringle.
Confederate flags allowed, Jeffrey.
Oh, that's right. That's right. After how many hundreds of years did they finally figure that out? Okay. Mr. Pringle says over 200 yards rushing. How's that for an air raid offense, huh? That's a good point, Mr. Pringle.
But that's the thing, though, is a lot of those passes open up stuff on the ground. And then once you're just, beating some team's skull in, you just run the football to ice the game.
Well, a lot of this, though, running did help set up some of the passes. And it was funny. I was shocked to see that Connor only had 50 yards, because it seemed like every time he had the ball, he was going 8 bleep on some people.
Yeah.
But he had 2 touchdowns. I think, it was opportunities in the right places. Then I thought Chase Edmonds had been quiet. Turns out he had 120 yards on 12 carries, and he had a 54-yard run in the second half. So I watched the whole game, and I'm like, are these numbers right? Why did it seem the other way around?
Yeah. I think that was part of the game plan. Get these guys on their heels early, bring a lot of pressure on Matt Stafford, break through that offensive line, which, by the way, is a pretty good offensive line. I mean, these guys are no slouches. And then to kind of thwart the defense by moving Kyler Murray around, moving him in and out of the pocket. Don't let him stand there. Use his legs to get in a position. And I think that's what they did. And I think they executed the plan pretty good, pretty well.
Are you ready to see me piss off some 49er fans?
Please.
I don't know, Randy. I think this 49er team, that might be a trap game next week.
You don't want to be the trap game, because
I just wanted to aggravate these people. That's all.
Oh.
Fed fan says, well, if this keeps up, it'll be Cards versus Bills in the Super Bowl. Shh. Randy doesn't want to hear that yet. Nobody wants to hear that yet.
No.
Blissful Hayes says Kyler had a small bit of trouble in the first series yesterday, but he played great the rest of the game. He's grown a lot. There's little doubt that Kyler is an early MVP candidate.
My goodness. Thank
There's
you.
so
for
many
the-
nice things.
So many nice things. I gave
in
you one
there.
whistle. I could have given you 4 or 5, but yeah.
Well, take what you can get, I mean, it's a positive step in the right direction, I think. So, all right. Well, if there's anything else you want to say about the Arizona Cardinals defeat of the Rams yesterday, now is your chance.
No, I just we're on to San Francisco. Next game.
We're on to San Francisco.
There you go. Next game up.
All right. Well, I'm going to take these games in order of what they were on our picks sheet, is because it just made it easier for me to organize it. So we'll get to everybody's games. But the first one on the pick sheet was Keon's Washington football team right there. The Washington football team is now a 500 team. So you got to be feeling pretty good about that. And usually, I we should have known this was going to go this way. Anytime anybody from Washington, D.C. spends any time in Atlanta, they leave it burning. And that's what happened yesterday. So how good are you feeling about this team right now?
I don't know if I'm feeling great about it, but I think I have a better understanding of what this team is. Offense, pretty good. Defensive line, not bad. Secondary, MIA, nowhere to be found. And as long as Washington gets to play other bad teams that can't defend, they'll be in shootouts and they'll have a chance to win those games. Any
Look
team,
how bad your division is.
It's real bad. Everybody outside of Dallas is just a disaster. And Atlanta is the get right game. Like if you have a bad season and you roll up against the Falcons, you're about to have the best game of your season. It happened in New York when New York beat them. This is just where we are with the Falcons. They're so bad. But I'll take the win with Washington. Yeah, 2-2.
Hey,
I'll roll with it.
By the way, thank you, because I had to go pick up Cordell Patterson because Josh Jacobs has sort of been hobbled and injured. Cordell Patterson helped me kill it in fantasy football yesterday. I got 35 points off this guy. I mean, he was all over the place.
You're welcome. Anytime they got into the red zone, like literally inside of the 20, Matt Ryan was looking for Cordell Patterson and nobody else. And for a good reason, because he was always open.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Heineke, well, I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, I'm going to let you feel good. Although,
well, what about it? What about him?
There is trouble brewing for the Washington football team. And, so here's the thing. Remember those stories about these NBA players? They'll post up a picture of them in their workout. The next day, there's a knock on the door. We're going to drug test for you. And I think now the Washington football team is all going to get drug tested. Something is up with your trainer, your head trainer, Ryan Vermillion. He is now on leave. It's a criminal investigation, and it's the Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA, and the Lundun County Sheriff's Department. They did a search at the practice facility on Friday. They put this fella on, I guess, leave while this is being investigated. So, you got a drug problem on the Washington football team, Keon.
There is one. Now, at least right now, law enforcement doesn't think that anybody else was involved. So that's at least a good sign.
I swear to God, it's just Viagra. Look at this team. By the way they played in the past, and every single one of them has ED.
The week before, they got murdered
There's
by
so
the
many
Buffalo
limp
Bills.
noodles in this place. So many limp noodles. Just add some marinara sauce, why don't you? Nobody here can get it up. Nobody. So if you want to get on us for some illegal, boner bills, well, then, my God, go ahead. I hope you feel good about yourself because there's nothing else going on here. Ron Rivera can't get it up. Hinkie can't get it up. Cordell Patterson, he can get it up. We saw that. But I'm telling you right now, the entire team has got nothing in the shorts. Do you understand?
Is that your trainer voice there?
I don't know. I guess so.
That's what I imagine he sounds like, too. That's just...
Wow.
As
Ryan
he's being
Vermillion.
led away in cuffs. Yeah,
not good news.
Rivera, he said something that doesn't exactly come across as a denial. He says, I won't comment on how I personally feel about what's going on. Not, I don't know what's going on. Or, oh, this is all going to be sorted out. It's going to be fine. Or, we're very disappointed. Now, he's saying, I won't comment on how I personally feel about what's going on. I'm sure what he feels is fear. It's like, God, I hope they don't see my initials in his book.
I don't know. All I know is that the existence of my life as a fan of this team is basically one scandal after the other. And not even cool scandals like Spygate or Deflategate,
Right.
where you could say they're cheating because they win so much. It's just scandals for no reason. Just scandals.
Well, here's how you know this guy is really good and screwed. Dan Snyder, back in January of 2020, after he got hired, said he is a perfect fit and one of the most respected and seasoned head athletic trainers in the NFL. Right there, you should have known when it's Dan Snyder that this guy was dirty as dirt.
Yeah, well, we know this because Dan has hired people who have ripped off the organization before. He has hired people who have just essentially run the organization into the ground while using it as clout to go pick up women. What else has this team not managed to accomplish off the field?
Can I just say that this would have been a very, very easy background check? Vermillion graduated from University of Miami in '87. Dude's a criminal.
Oh boy,
I don't know that that's
that's
the only indicator you can use.
It's all I needed, and guess what? Look, I'm right. Come on, man. Fed fan says, "Way to go, Keon! Cheering for some drug dealers."
Wow.
She's turned this around on you.
Poor Keon.
The Berg says, "Afternoon, guys. How about that 4-0 start, huh?" Not you, Randy. I'm talking about me in the Premier League, not the little quarterback-led Cardinals. I forgot you guys were on early today.
Yeah.
Berg is starting to slip into his evil Berg mode a little bit lately, isn't he?
Was there an evil Berg mode? I didn't know it was possible.
That's okay.
No. He super nice guy, but then for a while he was evil Berg because he was totally horrifically tearing down the Suns until they started to do better. And then he got cool and we made him back to regular Berg.
It's okay, Berg. I'm not used to winning like this, so I didn't think you were talking about me anyway.
Well, Berg's not used to winning like that either, so he's got to crow about it while he can. Randy's Chuckle says, after listening to the Cards game broadcast with Myers and Moose, could you please figure out some way to simulcast? The old lady calling out bingo numbers at the VFW has more excitement in her voice. Yeah, it was a bad call. There was a bad call in my Colts game too, and I was just like, I thought it was Chris Spielman. It turned out to be some other loser. But oh my God, some of these play-by-play guys. You know who is good? I forgot to talk about this on our own Thursday Night Football. Mike Golick was on with Ian Eagle, and that was really damn good. Mike Golick, just by himself as a color commentator, he's really good. I knew he'd done some college stuff, and it was a surprise. And I sent a note over to Bruce Jacobs because I know they're buddies. I says, "Hey, tell your boy Golick what a great job he did." He's like, "I didn't even know he was doing it." So I was like, "Well, I guess you're not that good of friends." But seriously, he really, really is good. I wouldn't mind seeing Golick on TV. Up next to somebody, who's a good play-by-play guy. He's solid. If you were going to say, Jeffrey, well, you always rag on the Monday Night Football, my first thing would say Mike Golick with I don't care who, somebody like somebody good as a play-by-play guy, but current crew that is on the TV, horrible. Let's see. Blissful Hayes says Carson Wentz MVP for playing 2 games without getting hurt. I know, man. Why you gotta hurt me? It doesn't hurt me because I already hate it. So there's nothing you're going to say to me that's going to hurt. So let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. Well, they did exactly what you'd expect they would do to the Texans. They held them to 109 yards. The defense, 40. Oh my God, 5 turnovers. And then I had, people are like, Jeffrey, are you sure you want to have 3 Buffalo players on your roster right now? Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. And I did. And I had Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, and their tight end whose name eludes me at the moment. But 40-0. And it was raining and it was just crazy. And poor Houston. And somebody's got to be on the phone going, are you sure we can't use Deshaun Watson right now? Are you sure?
We can still trade him, but we just got to get him out there right now. Please. We could raise his stock, maybe. Think about it. Just consider it.
So now the Bulls, they have 2 shutouts in their first 4 games. That is a scary team right there. That defense, boy, I don't know who has the defense in the fantasy football, but I know it's not me. That's a team that's looking really good right now. All right, guys, when we come back, we are going to continue talking about all the football games from tomorrow, and you can jump in and talk about whatever football game you want to talk about. 888-368-1580. Get yourself up on that text line. How did your teams do this weekend? Everybody's happy. I'm begrudgingly not totally unhappy, I guess. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
What's up? This is Riley. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A grilled chicken club sandwich is the applewood bacon. It's savory and then it's also kind of sweet. And I think the combination of bacon with chicken and Colby Jack cheese, it just really knocks it out of the park.
Hey, I'm Tanea. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A grilled chicken club sandwich is the chicken. It's so juicy. It's grilled to perfection. I'm going to devour this sandwich.
Order the grilled chicken club sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Mortgage interest rates remain near historic lows. So whether you're wanting to lower your interest rate, take cash out to remodel your home, or pay off credit card or installment debt, now is the perfect time to refinance or purchase a home. Call David White at 480-244-6625. 480-244-6625 to review your mortgage options and to take advantage of David's 32 years of industry experience, incredible customer service, and competitive interest rates. We shop the market for the best interest rates so you don't have to. So call David at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Call David now to discuss your mortgage options and before interest rates go up at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Don't wait. Call today and take advantage of the low rates. David White, NMLS 322907 of AmeriFirst Financial Inc. NMLS 145368, an equal housing opportunity lender.
Time for some smart saving. Make their dreams their reality.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. Whatever your little one dreams of becoming, a doctor, a chef, a firefighter, they're going to need a plan and savings. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan, and you will be able to pay for their future education. Visit az529.gov and start saving to make their dream job come true.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-628-6070. 800-628-6070. 800-628-6070. That's 800-628-6070.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 3 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, getting ready for Monday Night Football, which starts at 4:30. We've been on already for an hour, but I know a lot of you guys always forget that. Now you're just now joining us. And of course, I've already seen some very excited, mentions that, oh my God, Facebook is back. Oh my God, Facebook is back. Oh my God. Okay, just calm down. If your life was seriously bothered by the fact that Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were down today, you really need to rethink a lot of your life. I mean, I get it. We use it here. If it weren't for this show, I wouldn't even be on social media, to be honest. I can only take so many pictures of a person looking exactly the same in every shot. I can only take so much of narcissistic people who constantly have to show you themselves over and over and over again. I can only take so many pictures of your damn dog, cat, or otherwise. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's nobody from my past in high school or otherwise that I feel like I have to keep track of or see how they're doing or laugh at how fat they've gotten. I'm not built for this. I'm bad at social media, bad at it. And hopefully it doesn't affect your life as much as it seems to. I mean, it affected Zuckerberg's life so much. He lost like $6-7 billion in one day because of this, outage. The stocks went down. Crazy stuff, right?
Yeah. $6 or $7 billion in a day.
Yeah. Billion with a B. And right now, and people are telling me, no, Facebook is still acting a little bit chunky and weird and wonky, but at least they're trying to get it back up so that your mom can still,
So from
try to friend you.
What I understand is someone accidentally deleted a chunk of the code.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, just a whole chunk of it, and that's why it's been gone
on
all
purpose?
day. So that I don't think it was on purpose. Don't think it was on purpose.
Fired.
That is correct. There's somebody
Wow.
who used to work at Facebook.
How do you mess up that bad?
I don't know.
Boy, talk about if you're gonna mess up, do it right. If it costs the company $7 billion, that one line of code. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Mark Zuckerberg, if you're listening, I always do a little something called backing up my servers. And every night, even at 1580 The Fanatic, there's a system in place by Affinity Technology that backs up everything we've got. So if anything happens, one push of a button and we're all good, back to normal. So if we at CRC Broadcasting, we're not even a corporation, we're independently owned. If we can figure that out, sup, Zucky? Sup? Can't you get your business straight? What's going on, Zucky?
But you could just call one of the world's richest men Zucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the coolest nickname he's ever had.
Well,
I mean, that is true. Look at the man.
When he was at Harvard, they had some nicknames for him, but I don't think they were friendly. I don't think they were nice.
I think it was Zucky.
Well, I mean, Zucky is nice, but I also like it because it's also kind of a dig because it rhymes with sucky because he's Zucky. But I'm only going to call him Zucky.
Why wouldn't you just call him Zuck?
Because Zucky just sounds a lot more fun
ball
to me.
players. You get guys in there. Got the long names. They shorten it down to like three letters.
No, I like calling somebody Bucky, Sparky, but he's Zucky. Way to go, Zucky. And it sounds like I say he's sucky. Which
he could be called. He could be called the Zucker. Or you do that in baseball too. The Zucker.
Just call him Lieutenant Commander Data. Whatever you want to call him, it doesn't matter. Right now, you just call him $7 billion poor right now. So good for you, Fed fans. She says, I'm not on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram. And for me, I kind of like just sitting around on Twitter because there, it's not the same. It's not like people posting pictures of themselves. It's just thoughts and streams of consciousness and snarkiness. If you're a smart ass, Twitter is the place for you. You know what I'm saying? Twitter is the place for you. Even then, I'm not very good at it. I mean, I keep forgetting to tell people to follow us on the Twitter, and I don't do things on Twitter. The experts are like, well, you have to do this and you have to do that. Can't just people who wanted to see us there, can't they just find us there? And that's all I care about. I don't care about.
And it seems like that's how it works.
I don't care about having like 1 million people I don't know. But here, this is a good opportunity, though, since the Facebook is, imploding, that you guys can follow us on Twitter. I am at Radio Pal 1580. Randy is at Radio Randy 777.
Mm-hmm.
And Keon is something that nobody can ever remember.
Sports Cloud.
Oh, that's right. That's not too hard to remember. But I always forget what the hell it is. Because it doesn't really connect me to you.
Yeah, there's no connection to it for me here now.
Right.
In the past.
A blog you did about 7 years ago that you haven't updated since.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That I plan on bringing back, but we'll see. It's on hiatus.
At Sports Cloud, at Radio Randy 777, at Radio Pal 1580. And of course, you can find all of us for one way or the other at 1580 The Fanatic. So there you go. And that's why I don't plug our Twitters very much. It takes forever to say all of it out loud.
Yeah.
Am I starting to sound like a cranky old man?
Just a little bit.
Tiny. Pequeño.
Damn it.
If you have a yard, if you can just go find the local youths and tell them to get off of it, just
sure.
You know.
I don't want people in my yard, and then this lady lets her dog crap in my yard one more time. She's going to get the business end of a bazooka because I'll make a grease spot out of that little sumbitch. But here's the thing: Randy can attest to because he knew me since I was 23 years old. I've always been a cantankerous old man, haven't I?
Yes, he has. That is correct.
Yeah, I was the oldest 23-year-old you've ever met, saying the exact same crap I'm saying now. Big George says, "Hey guys, happy Monday." I think I just heard Jeffrey say you're going to talk about the NFL games from tomorrow. Is there a game tomorrow on a Tuesday? I didn't say tomorrow. I said from yesterday. Did I say tomorrow?
No, I don't know.
I didn't catch you saying that.
Yeah.
So.
What's wrong with you, Big George? What's wrong with you, Big George? Sounds like you're saying you don't want me to do on this day in Big George sports history. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
That's what I heard loud and clear.
Papa Mike says, "Hey, Keon, I went against you with Iowa, Wisconsin, and UCLA. You got two of those correct. My one correct. I'll be looking to do better than you next week. It's on, Keon."
All right, let's do it.
Wow.
Papa Mike is out to get you. That's it's never a good place to be if we're honest, Keon.
No.
I mean, as long as it's college football picks, that seems like it's fine.
You remember when I said I've never fired anybody from the show? Well, a couple of them just have turned up missing, and Papa Mike was a prime suspect. So, just saying.
Good to know.
Just the tip says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Great win by the Cardinals. Kyler Murray doing some amazing things at quarterback. One thing I took away from this game is that after AJ Green's touchdown, DeAndre ran at him, gave him a big old headbutt, and all the smiles they had and the indicators were that probably the whole team, everybody's meshing at a very high level. And of course, winning does make everyone happy, right, Randy?
Yeah, I mean, no kidding. I'm very happy today. I couldn't be happier. The way that the game went down yesterday, I was looking forward to a grinding out kind of game. Coming down to the final seconds as the kicked ball goes through the uprights for the win on whoever's going to win the game.
The other day too. You said that Friday.
I did not believe that it was happening this way, but I sat in stunned silence as I watched this game unfold before my very eyes and wondered, this is what it's like to have a winning team. This is what it's like to have a team that's a contender. This is what it's like.
Yeah. And of course, now Randy was still going to feel like the ice is a little thin underneath of him. He's still going to feel that way watching any game where he's like, okay, this is where it all comes crashing through. 4 games in. And now, are you going to feel a little more confident? I mean, you should. You should going up against the 49ers.
I do not feel confident going up against the 49ers. They're a very damn good team. You get that guy that's coming in there. I forget his name, the number 3 overall pick. From
Trey Lance.
Yeah, Trey Lance. Hey, you get this guy coming in there. They have a week to prepare for the mighty Arizona Cardinals, the bird of prey. And they're going to be in their own silver nest here in the Glendale area. Who's to say that the emotions kind of let down and these guys let their guards down and they just think,
trap game.
Oh, we've got the 49ers coming in. They don't have their quarterback, old Glass, Jimmy Glassino.
Garoppolo.
Yeah, Glasseropolo. They don't have they're going to be all, we've got this game in the hip pocket, boys. No, don't do that. We've got to be ready at all times, be vigilant and be ready.
Division game.
You got to put your claws in and rip their head off. This is when it goes down, man.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. This is where even the best of teams will start to find themselves in trouble. So hopefully, your coaches, hopefully the veterans on the team will be able to keep everybody's head straight and everybody in the game against the 49ers.
I will say this, having as many veterans as we do on this team, you could kind of tell this team didn't get rattled on Sunday. This team was focused. It was a very workmanlike, sort of like the 2001 Diamondbacks. You had a very veteran team. You had guys that have been here before. They knew what to do. They knew how to step up. And that's the way I kind of looked at the Cardinals game on Sunday.
Senior Wake and Bake says, "Sup, fellas? Hey, back off my Niners, Jeffrey. They'll be fine." Okay. He says, "Let's talk about getting rid of field goals, red zone or else. I'm so sick of the GOAT talk." And Brady, the only individual I've known to be the GOAT was Ali. Not only an athlete, but an activist. He stood for something. Brady's a multiple Super Bowl winner, like a lot of others. Go Niners. That's all of that was just his stream of consciousness just now. I think he was just trying to get it all out before 420. I think that's why. But I am still going to play the Arizona Cardinal defense on my fantasy football next week, and I am not trying to jinx anything. I just think that it's going to be great. Let's see. Fed Fan says, "How did you like that warm, fuzzy hug between Tom Brady and Belichick at the end of the game?" Yeah, that was the tell your brother you're sorry hug. You know what I mean? You're like, and that was it. But word is that they did have a 20-minute conversation in the locker room. And I'm pretty sure it was like this. Tom, I just needed to apologize for not letting you take your ball deflator with you. Yeah, we did pay him $3.5 million to stay. I mean, we've never paid an equipment guy more than $60,000, and I'm not trying to say it was personal, but you can go bleep yourself. And then he walks out of the room. That whole thing took 20 minutes right there.
That took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He's a very slow talker.
Can I tell you what Tom Brady is doing? Tom Brady is being a politician, because anytime he talks, even in that post game with, what's her name there, Tafoya, he was just like saying all these politically correct things of, I love the fans here, the whole group here, and all my friends. It was funny. Belichick came over and got the quick half hug, and then everybody else in the organization came over and hugged him like he was a brother. I thought Brady was going to make out with one guy for a second, because he was just like had his face right there, and I thought, I think he wants to kiss him. And I'm like, hey, that's fine, whatever. But I think Tom Brady is intending to do a Peyton Manning, to do a Shaquille O'Neal, to do a John Elway. I think I think that Tom Brady is getting ready to open up some businesses in Boston and Foxborough, that area, because he's like, well, remember she was saying, you think you'll come back? She's like, well, these guys, they'll still see me around. Why? That is not even the part of the world you're from. You're not from there, Tom Brady. And you think Giselle wants to hang around in Boston? No. Boy, she couldn't get you to sell that house fast enough. He's getting ready to open up some businesses in Boston. Mark my words. That is why he ain't burning any bridges between him and Patriot land. Do you get that sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid connection there. You've already got a built-in group of people who will pay money for anything that you put out there, as long as you don't piss them off, which he's doing a really good job of. And I also think he wants to grow that TB12 thing, the diet plan and all that stuff.
Doesn't need to do that in Boston. He could do that from anywhere in the country. But if he is specifically zoned in on one part of the country now, and remember, only that little part of the country loves Tom Brady that much. You know what I'm saying? And now Florida, but still, if you looked at a map of what team people like or whatever, that is his little world chunk. And he is preserving that for a car dealership, a line of restaurants, whatever it is Giselle's telling him to do. That is what his angle is right there.
Can't blame him.
He'd be both fingers in the air, I guarantee you. Because his dad sure was.
It's true. And that's the reason why he had to get that funny little statement out there, just to say, hey, that's Pop's opinion. That's not my opinion at all. I still love the people over here. But yeah, it just makes perfect sense. And it's just good business.
Yeah. I think he shouldn't be allowed to be in those Subway ads too, by the way, because if you don't eat bread, the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? You're just collecting money.
That's what makes it funny, man.
Papa Mike says, what scares me the most about the 49er game with the Cardinals is the fact that in recent years, the Cardinals have lost to second string quarterbacks, probably because of not having film or something. But, well, you should have some film on Trey Lance. And, the 49ers offensive scheme is not going to change a whole lot between Garoppolo and Trey Lance. So I think you'll be fine.
I wait, hold on. I kind of disagree with that. I think it's going to change a lot because Trey Lance gives you the mobility. He gives you a guy that can run. Against the Seahawks yesterday, Trey Lance picked up a 4th and 10 with his legs.
Well, that's something you got to watch out for. But in general, the offensive play calling is not going to be altered that much.
I don't know. Kyle Shanahan loves to run the ball, and I really think that that's why they drafted Trey Lance, to get some plays that only Trey Lance can really run. And I don't think we've seen what he really wants to do with Trey Lance.
All right, hold on. Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Look out for the run.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. See, problem solved.
What's your problem, I'm just saying it's going to be, there's going to be some crazy Kyle Shanahan RPO type stuff in there. And I just look out for that. I don't think that makes the Niners better.
Hey, Randy, do you fear that from a rookie quarterback? A little RPO? I mean, a little fun for the defense, right?
I don't fear that as much anymore because of the kind of defense that we have right now. I think our linebackers are able to do many. They're very athletic. I think they're able to do whatever they need. Buda Baker is quite frankly all over the field. I'm not too worried about it. I think if Trey Lance goes on the run, we'll probably have a spy on him. It could be Simmons. It could be Buda Baker. I mean, somebody that's going to be keeping their eye on what he does. So I think it'll be an interesting game. I think it won't be as dominant as it was against the Rams. I think the Cardinals wanted to make a statement against the Rams. They were 0-8 against these guys, and they wanted to go in there and prove to the fact they could compete with these guys.
Box of Screws says, Jeffrey, you definitely said games tomorrow. I'll let it slide, but I got to back Big George up on this one. Bruno Baller says, so Jeffrey won't read Big George's sports history till tomorrow then? Is that what's happening here? And then Big George, on my thread of saying I'm not going to read history, he says, no, come on, Jeffrey. I want you to do on this day. Sorry for questioning you. You're right. I'm wrong. But don't do that, George. If I was wrong and I accidentally slipped and said that's fine. It was an empty thread anyways, my friend. And really just a little punishment for how you would give me some crap last week. So there you go. Everything's fine, people. Everybody relax. King Kitten says, I want to see Fed fans TikTok dance videos. That's what I want to see. What? We know you do, and she'll never do them for you. I don't know, man. You've been hitting on her for years, man. Helibin Mike says, first, like week 1, did anyone see this coming? Okay, raise your hand. And again, if you do, you're a big fat liar. Randy, it looks like your 6-0 prediction is not only possible, but now looking pretty likely. I said I was as optimistic this year as I've been in years past, but this exceeds my highest expectations. 30-plus points and over 400 yards a game in each of the first 4 games. How many times has that happened in league history? Plus, Vance Joseph's halftime adjustments were actually just amazing.
Yeah.
I know you've been down on Vance Joseph for quite some time. How you feeling about old Vance Joseph now?
Well, I mean, look, if it continues this way and he continues to pay attention, you could start to respect what he's trying to do. The last couple of years with Vance Joseph, though, and I think Cardinal fans will agree with me. The last couple of years have just been sort of mind-boggling, the kind of moves he makes. But now he's actually got some talent. He's got some people in there that can enact some change for this defense. So we'll have to wait and see.
Just add talent, huh? All right. Watermelon says, I'm with you, Jeffrey. I don't got the Facebook. The only thing I still have is the MySpace. And it's great. It's literally just all MySpace. There's nobody else there.
Smart move.
Yeah. A good idea. All right, listen, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll pick back up and keep talking about all the NFL football games from yesterday. That's right. Bears are up next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
With Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One with a preview of a great game to wrap up Week 4. 2 of the hottest teams in the NFL, the 3-0 Raiders at the 2-1 Chargers. And Kurt, it's a big-time AFC West rivalry. Also, 2 very good teams.
Well, no doubt about it, Kevin. And there's going to be 22 guys on the field at any given time. But you know that everybody's going to be talking about the 2 guys behind center, 2 guys that are in the MVP conversation right now. Starting with Derek Carr, who's come out hitting lights out at this point in time, got his team undefeated at this point in time, really playing good football. And on the other side, the second-year player in Justin Herbert is making big play after big play.
It's going to be a beauty. The Raiders at the Chargers on Monday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? Our professional parts people will test it for free. If it does need to be replaced, we'll help you find just the right one to fit your car. Our Superstar batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready.
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
If you're not spending every waking moment checking us out online,
you better have a good excuse.
Yeah. We've loaded up our website with the stories, pics, video, podcast, commentary, and more. The kind of stuff you love.
Hey, it takes a lot of time to post all this junk.
And you'll love every bit of it. Very well.
Or at least most of it.
It appears that the website has become alive.
Hit it now.
It's on the internet.
1580thefanatic.com.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Coming up at 4:30, we've got the Westwood One broadcast of Monday Night Football. Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner, not those dumb jackasses over there on ESPN. No, this is good play-by-play, and should be a pretty good game between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. And, well, I tell you, if Vegas loses, that means the Arizona Cardinals are the only undefeated team so far this year. So, I guess we should all just root for the Chargers just for the fun of it, right? But I just always root for a good game. And, yeah, I think I'm going to do, Keon. I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to put the TV on Spanish. I tried to do that Thursday Night Football to shut up Joe Buck, but they didn't have the SAP on that one.
It wasn't even available.
Didn't even have that as a choice. And see, your immediate response, yeah, it wasn't available. You knew immediately because you tried it too. I don't blame you. And none of us know Spanish. You don't. I don't know. Wait, do you? Do you know Spanish?
I don't know Spanish. No.
Not even high school Spanish?
So little.
Yeah.
I took French in high school, actually.
Oh, I don't think there's a button for that.
No.
See, who cares? He's American. Like football, nobody gives a damn. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to look at pictures of pastry and smoke about 97 cigarettes in 5 minutes. You shut up, you poop Americans. I am so sick of your garbage. Why you hit the button? Don't hit the button. I'm busy. I'm busy trying to make sweet love to your wife. That is what I do because I'm French. Yes, as they say, to have American. To have American in your bed, it's like eating Cheetos in bed. It's all crusty and messy when I'm done. But it's your wife. She's fat. Oh, whoa, hey, easy there, Frenchie. See, that's what you get if you hit the French SAP.
Wow. I don't want to hear that business.
No, damn. That's just it makes me want to go punch a French guy.
Right.
Let's clean up the text line and we'll move on. I promise we will talk about every game from the weekend, and we will do that. Boomer Sooner says, good day, gentlemen. Well, the Sooners squeaked by Kansas State pretty good. It was a good game this week. The real game is this week, though. So I'll need Randy to give me a huge Boomer Sooner on Friday. It's going to be Texas, Oklahoma, the Red River Shootout.
Yep. It's this weekend. That is for sure. All right, Boomer. We'll keep one stored up for you.
Bruno Baller says, so Jeffrey won't, I already read that. Never mind. Thundar, the Santa Barbarian, says, and here's hoping there's a lot of joy for the Cardinals next weekend. Congratulations on the big win there this week, Randy.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Appreciate you.
Big George says, this was a great weekend for our local football teams. ASU upsets UCLA and is ranked once again. Cardinals jack stomp the Rams in LA. Randy is right so far. The Cardinals are going undefeated, 17-0, baby.
Yeah, well, it certainly looks that way, but don't jinx it, George. Don't jinx it, George. We're on to the next game, and that's San Francisco. One game at a time, George. One game at a time.
Mr. Wilbur says, we will hit that 49er quarterback like a 4-year-old hits a piñata at his birthday party. You're going down, Niners.
Wow.
Senior Wake and Bake says, Randy, it's not the Niners quarterback that's made of glass. It'd be Wentz and his brittle bones. Why are you going to go after the Colts?
Just
Wow.
completely unrelated.
And you're right. So I can't even be upset.
Jimmy Garoppolo? Are you kidding me? He's made of even more pristine crystal type glass than even Carson Wentz.
Let me tell you why. 49ers, here's something you have to understand. Certain sexually transmitted diseases will eat away at your bones. And as you know, Jimmy G does like to bed down the occasional porn star or hooker. So I'm sure his bones are riddled. And he's got the herpes scars to prove it. Does herpes leave scars?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
If I'm going to be making up medical oddities,
herpes scars.
Yeah. Oh, you can see the herpes scars all over his face. I don't know. They're on his back too. I don't get it. Fed fan says, trust me, you don't want to see me in any TikTok videos. Oh, I think King Kittens does. And King Kittens says, hey, Sports Cloud, Chargers and Raiders tonight. Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner and Rich Eisen on the radio. But who do you got there, Keon?
I'm leaning Chargers. I like their defense. I like their secondary way too much, probably. And Justin Herbert's been playing lights out, but this is going to be a really good game. I'm looking forward to it.
Navy Brad says, Randy, your Cardinals are looking sharp. The Vikings have taken a dump. No chance at the Super Bowl for them.
Well, I wouldn't rule them out. Remember, you're only 4 weeks in. The Vikings still have an opportunity to get the ship righted. You see what I did there? Hey, the Viking ship. The ship right.
Well, I know they won't be pillaging or raping anybody the way they're playing.
Boy, it's Monday. I hate myself.
That might have been dark. That was maybe too dark. I don't know.
Just a bit. Just
yeah, sorry. What were we talking about? George says, don't we all have herpes scars? No, George, we don't. Not all of us. Nope. George, some of us don't.
Very many of us don't.
Yeah. Wow. Papa Mike says, up here in Colorado Springs, there's only one place that could watch the Cardinals and Rams game. Yeah. It was on the NFL webcast without sound. And to be honest, no sound was great. It's a good point. That is a good point right there. Just the Tip says, so you're talking favorite tacos in Phoenix with your pals the other day, and it turns out Otro Cafe at 7th Street in Bethany Home comes to mind. A wood fire grill is the centerpiece of the place, and if you don't love the pork belly tacos, we just can't be friends. Okay, so there is a suggestion for you, Keon. Otro Cafe, 7th Street in Bethany. He spelled it O-T-R-O, but God really knows. You'll have to just feel around on it.
To add it there to the list.
Yeah, and he says another great stat the Cardinals have is that 6 Cardinals have caught 15 or more passes. That is called spreading out the offense there, isn't it, Randy?
Yeah, no kidding. And they alluded to that on the broadcast, that boring-ass broadcast, Chris Myers and the Moose. Listen, I have a lot of respect for the Moose and his career, but, boy, those guys, somebody needs to take an upper in that booth, and I don't know which one of them needs to be, but they were talking about that, how Kyler Murray is really happy about the way this offense is. He's got several different targets to go to, everything from his running backs to his wide receivers. And now they're putting old double X Max Williams in the playbook, and he's showing that he can be a quality target as well. So you got to, if you're Kyler Murray, you got to feel good. You got all these different options on the field. You're not stuck to one or two guys.
Yeah, and that always keeps the defense guessing. When you don't know, is it going to be on the ground? Is it going to be in the air? And if it is in the air, who the hell is it going to go to? That's awesome, man. And Just Step says so. He says defenses have no clue who's getting the ball until after Kyler throws it. James Conner has only 3 receptions, but the most touchdowns on the team. This has the ability to be a truly powerful team.
Yeah,
got to stay healthy.
You got to stay healthy. You can't look ahead. You just got to go 1 week at a time, and you got to, like Bill Belichick always says, you got to do your job. Everybody's got to continue to do their job. I think they can do this. I think this is going to be a fun season. So,
Big George says, "How cool would it be if the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Dodgers on Wednesday? You could stop there, and I'd be happy." He says, "And in the National League wild card game, eliminate the Dodgers, one fell swoop, bam."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then if the Cardinals won the Super Bowl and the Cardinals won the World Series, that'd be kind of nifty, except for, that's the St. Louis Cardinals. So it doesn't do us any good.
Right.
And,
right.
Yeah. Thundar San Barbarian says, "I just hope Derek Carr and Waller have a sucky game tonight and Keenan Allen plays the lights out and scores a bunch of long touchdowns. And then my fantasy team." Oh, that has nothing to do with this though. Really. Sure, Thundar. Sure, we got you, man. Listen, I got Herbert as my quarterback. I'm in garbage time. By the way, you know who I'm beating the hell out of this week?
No,
Ralph. Ralph from Harmon Solar.
Do you think he's going to be busy again this week?
I think he saw it coming, and that's why he wouldn't be on the show last week. I'm not sure if he's going to even show up this week.
He has been sort of inconspicuous, hasn't he?
A little bit. And yeah, I'm okay with that. That's fun.
I'm not suggesting that Ralph would ever skip out on the show if he thought.
No. I think he'd admit that openly, that if he got grumpy about it, he wouldn't go up. Ralph just does what the hell he wants.
That's
to do,
true. And he deserves it.
So let's talk about we have a whole lot more games to talk about. We're going to get through all these NFL games in the next hour. Justin Fields got the start, and then looky there. It was just the Lions. Never mind. I was going to have to say it was impressive that Justin Fields got the start of his second consecutive game, and he was looking great. But it was the Lions.
It was the Lions, but also that's interesting about this game. BU gave up the play calling duties as well.
That. Also, did I see that there was somebody else calling the offensive plays for the Cardinals too?
I didn't see that. I don't think so.
No, they went to a guy who was standing there, and it looked like he was an offensive coordinator for the Cardinals. And I was like, where'd this guy come from? And my wife, she was watching too. She knows. She's like, I don't think that guy is calling. I don't think Kingsbury's calling the offensive plays right now. I'm like, of course he's calling the plays. He always calls the plays. She's like, yeah, but look, he's got the little card and he's saying, well, maybe he's calling the plays and then Kingsbury is just repeating them. I don't know. What do you know? What do you make of that? Did you see that guy? You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see it. There's several guys on the sideline with cards and they're always talking into their heads. So I don't know who's talking to who, but I did see Kingsbury with the card and making play calls during the game. So I don't know who that other fellow was.
Anyway, sorry. That was something that was noticed. I didn't know if you picked up on that, but back to the Bears. Justin Fields, 11 of 17, 209 yards. He got sacked 9 times last week, but he only got sacked once yesterday. And the team was playing a little bit different this time around. I don't know if you're right. Maybe it was the BU call of duties. What's that, Keon?
Well, first off, Justin Fields said that I think it was Bill Lazor who was calling the plays for Chicago. Justin Fields said that he prefers strongly when Lazor's calling the plays.
Wow.
He said Lazor sounds less panicked. Those are his words.
Wow. BU is getting fired.
So
wow.
So that's
in the middle of the season,
but distinctly possible. So that's the quarterback saying that he prefers when somebody else is calling the plays.
Right.
But I know it's the Lions. I know you got to take it with a grain of salt. He made some incredible throws, though. I mean, just like that's the first round talent. That's the guy that you thought you were drafting, and the fact that they're going to go back to Andy Dalton is depressing me.
How cool would it be, Jeffrey, if your name was Bill Lazor?
Bill Lazor.
Wow, that's a great radio name, Bill Lazor.
Bill Lazor in the morning.
Yeah. See,
you're right. It's a cool name for
It's
anything.
a cool name.
Bill Lazor sells you insurance. Bill Lazor is your surgeon.
Yeah.
Anything.
If the Bears take the play calling duties away from Bill Lazor, they're going to lose their ass.
Yeah, it's craziness if they do. So Boogie, of course, predictably shows up. We talk about the Lions being 0-4.
Yeah.
He does not want to talk about the Lions. He wants to talk about how he, won in League 5. And of course, he also brought up the fact Berg noticed that there was a team in the Premier League where somebody did not update their roster and had 2 guys on injured reserve in their starting lineup. And I said, everybody calm down. We're sometimes life happens. I'll check with the guy who's playing. And if he has quit and given up, we will turn his team over to somebody else. Now, I said that on the Twitter. Now, of course, they're like, I want the team. I think I should have the team. Boogie's like, I want the team. I volunteer to take that team. It's not going to be any of you guys. You know who's going to get that? It's going to be my wife. You know why? She's not playing fantasy football this year. And she is very good. And I think she could take a team that has been beat down and is riddled with injuries, probably do a fine job with it. So I don't know, Randy, what do you think? If we were to give it to one of the super fans, how do we choose who?
No, we couldn't. It would not be fair. There'd be hurt feelings. We don't want that amongst the fourth dimension. Absolutely not.
But it was interesting to watch them all fight each other like their fight was going to result in me deciding something.
Right. See, they were like a swamp full of crocodiles going after some, chicken that was dangling off of a, fishing pole or something. Everybody was, I'll take it.
They're all fighting, and Jeffrey is leaning back like the Emperor and Gladiator, just trying to decide who lives and who dies.
All of you die. So concentrate on the teams in your own leagues as your way to get back in the Premier League, and we'll figure it out from this side. Unless somebody has some sort of amazing idea, then I'll entertain that. Speaking of fantasy football, I also have David Montgomery on my fantasy football, and I tell you what, after getting me 25 points yesterday, now I am a little bit scared because now he has been injured. There's a knee injury. The Bears think that there's no tear of the ACL. There was some more testing that's supposed to happen today. Has there been any new word on David Montgomery?
I haven't seen anything. Keon, have you seen anything?
I can take a peek. I haven't seen anything new yet.
Which he left the game early, and yet he still got me 25 fantasy football points. So hope he's going to be okay, just because we don't ever want to see somebody injured. But more importantly, I need him on my fantasy football team. Josh Jacobs is hurt all the damn time, and I'm in trouble. And by the way, Boogie, your quarterback cracks me up. Jared Goff, he says, well, I don't know. Maybe we just need to get to the point where we're mad. Maybe with these losses, we just have to get pissed off. So basically,
that's what it is.
Jared Goff is like, he's using the get angry when you're trying to poop idea. Like when you're kind of like, when you're a kid, you're like, poop won't come, mommy. He says, get mad at it. So he thinks angry poop attitude is going to win games for the Lions. What an amazing leader.
What an amazing leader. And I actually thought, that the Lions had some character guys there. I don't think that anger is the issue. I think it's execution and the fact that they don't have anybody good on that team.
Well, maybe we got pissed off. We'd execute a little better. Me included. I got to get angry at the poop too. And maybe next week we'll get mad, and that'll be the answer.
No, stop overthrowing people.
Hey, Lions fans,
get the ball out of your hands quicker.
I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but you may not notice it. Some of the players may not notice it, but we all notice it. You're trying to get the number 1 draft pick again. Oh boy, that's what's happening. So sorry.
Also, David Montgomery update.
Yes.
The knee is hyperextended, but nothing appears to be torn. No ACL, no other ligaments appear to be torn.
Hyperextended though. Could miss a game though, right?
It could miss a game or two, but he's not going to be gone for the year.
Good news for the Bears and good news for old Dave Montgomery, and more importantly, good news for my fantasy football team. And before we go to break, did you see the worst turnover you may have ever seen in your life? The Detroit Lions did that. Jared Goff is standing there, and he looks over there, and the guy hikes the ball, and Goff just stands there like this, and it bounces off his chest and right into the hands of a Bear defender.
No way.
Breather.
I didn't see that.
If you want to see it, just go online and look up Detroit Lions embarrassing turnover. I guarantee you the video will pop up because it's one of those things. I first thought it bounced off his nuts. From the angle, I was like, did that just hit him where I think it did and bounce off? No, it didn't. It hit him like right around here on his, like the lower part of his chest. But it was still one of those things you're watching like, did that just happen? Oh, sorry, Randy. I forgot about your bet. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Totally forgot about the bet.
I just searched Jared Goff fumble and got a sea of videos. No, okay.
Oh, good luck. You're going to have to sort through it. I guess put the date modified at the top. That might help you out.
Mouth breather.
Anyway, it was a fun thing to watch, but I'm sorry, Randy. I forgot about that.
That's okay. Sorry, Jeff.
All right. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More NFL football from the weekend that was right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. SimpleGreen.com.
MLB Playoffs starting this week. The Dodgers, the favorites to win the World Series. They host the NL wildcard game against the Cardinals on Wednesday. Dodgers plus 350 odds to win it all. The Giants at plus 475. The Rays at plus 500. The Astros plus 600. And the White Sox at plus 650. Monday Night Football, the Raiders on the road taking on the Chargers. Vegas coming in a 3-point road underdog. The over-under 51.5. Both teams are 2-1 against the spread. UFC Vegas 39 Saturday in Vegas. The main event in the women's strawweight division. Mackenzie Dern a minus 160 favorite against Marina Rodriguez at plus 135. For thesin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg, the Fanatic.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2022. Call 1-800-449-1387 for a free no obligation price quote. That's 1-800-449-1387. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-449-1387.
When it comes to automotive repairs, where do you start? Been looking for a new home? Should you rent or buy? If you're looking for the latest trends in the automotive industry or real estate, look no further than the Drive Friendly Radio Show. Hosted by Steve, with over 40 years in the automotive industry, and Felicia, who's well established in the real estate market, you can get great advice and insight you can trust. You'll be smarter for listening, and maybe you'll have a little fun, too. The Drive Friendly Radio Show, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Did you get all the stimulus money for you and your family? Do you have children and didn't know you could receive monthly child tax credit payments? You can claim your monthly child tax credit payments and missing stimulus payments, even if you don't file a traditional tax return. Visit ssa.gov/EIP to learn how you can apply online. Get the money your family deserves. Visit ssa.gov/EIP. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Sponsored by SSA.
Everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends who've used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
Time for some smart saving. Brew up an education savings plan.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. Saving for higher education is easier than you think. For the cost of a few cups of coffee each month, you can begin investing in an AZ 529 education savings plan. When it's time for college, you can have the savings for tuition, books, fees, and more. So visit az529.gov and brew up your plan today.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Get the inside info before it becomes outside info. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at 1580 The Fanatic.
Today, the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And hey, Randy, you got free lunch coming to us.
Really? How'd we do that?
Last Thursday, remember Big Ted says, I'll bet you guys that the Rams will beat the Cardinals. If they do, all I want is a couple of T-shirts and a hat. And if they lose, I'll buy you guys lunch.
Nice.
Yeah. And he says, okay, I'll take your lunch when you let me know. I work nights. I'm on my way to work. Just let me know when. Well, Big Ted, I'll tell you what. Whenever works for you, you let us know. Blender at 1580thefanatic.com, and we'll work it out. Or just come out to one of our remote broadcasts or something. And I think that we'd all just, some chips or something. We're not greedy peoples, but if you're damn determined to buy us lunch, well, we're damn determined to let you. So we'll figure that out later. So no big rush, man. We'll figure it out. But hey, at least we got that going for us, Randy.
Yep. Count one. There you go.
For the win. Harry Soap says, yesterday's Cardinal win reminded me of the 49ers game against the Cowboys during the 1981 regular season. Dallas dominated the Niners until that year. Niners beat Dallas in the regular season 49-14 and went on the Super Bowl. Not saying the Cardinals are going to do the same, but yesterday's game sure felt a lot like that Niners game back then.
Yeah.
A hopeful turning point for this Arizona Cardinals team.
I don't know about the 81 Niners, but that game sure felt very good, and that the Cardinals, they didn't go out there and make any foolish mistakes. They didn't give the ball away. They didn't put the ball on the floor. The defense didn't collapse. All aspects of the game yesterday, they were hitting on all cylinders. I hope this lasts the rest of the damn season.
Tell you what, Harry Soap does not text in that often, but when he does, it's a damn good text.
Oh, yeah.
So good to hear from you again, buddy. Kiss the Cook says Jeffrey is right about weakening your bones. Oh, the STDs? He said it even has hallucinogenic effects.
Wow.
Okay. Blissful Hayes says, so BU quit having duties? I'm just going to let that one stand where it is.
Yep.
Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, Randy, you think Kyler Murray still wears his Pop Warner pads? Go Niners, he says.
Oh, man.
So listen, that's fine, though, Randy. It's the smack talk. You know how my experience in the past is when anybody ever smack talk me, they'd lose. And then when I've smack talked others, karma kicks my ass. So,
I'm not a big smack talker. Usually I don't run my lips. I let the play do the talking.
I mean, of course, you give an epic pick every Thursday for the Arizona Cardinals, but that's not smack talk. That is confidence. That is giving, of course, the listeners what they want. People love two things in this world. One, Randy White. Two, his epic ranting picks.
Wow. I did
That's
not
all
know
anybody
that.
cares about in this world. So
I was unaware of that. Well,
you
thank
go
you very
ahead,
much.
Senior Wake and Bake. You go ahead and throw those nastiness, those barbs, those whatevers at the Arizona Cardinals, because you got me to reckon with now. You got me to reckon with now. I am pulling for the Arizona Cardinals to just kick the living ass out of the 49ers.
I just think that the week where the Niners come off a loss and the Cardinals are coming off of a dominant victory, that wouldn't be the time to smack talk. Like, I don't know, pick your spots. Like, I don't smack talk very much, but I know that when I play pickup basketball, if you're 0 for 10 today, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Like, nobody wants to hear it.
Yep. Absolutely right. Mars 805 says, happy Monday, fellas. Looking good for the Raiders Cardinals Super Bowl ski. Let's enjoy an 805. Dude, maybe you should be cut off.
Raiders Cardinals.
Okay, that said, I shouldn't be throwing shade because the Raiders are 3-0 right now.
And they look good. They look good.
Yeah, they're looking better than normal, but can it continue? It's the same question we had about the Cardinals, so don't take any disrespect, Raiders fans. I'll be honest. I picked the Chargers to win, but I have kind of been going back and forth on this one. I may change my pick to the Raiders before game time. I'm not sure. I really struggled on this one. Really have struggled on this one. Keon has confidently called it for the Chargers. Who was your pick, Randy? I can't remember.
Chargers. Yeah, Chargers. Here's the thing, though. It's at SoFi Stadium, which has still got that oozing smell of defeat all over it. I may go with the Raiders because of that. That ass kicking the Rams took yesterday.
Still has that stench in the air.
Oh yeah, I still got that ooze all over the place. And the Los Angeles Chargers are the home team, so I hope they get in there and wipe all that ass kicking off of the walls and out of the seats and stuff before the Chargers take the field.
See, Randy won't talk smack before.
That's right.
but he will look over his shoulder as he laps his way out for a win.
That is the way to do it.
I'll give you a wave and a finger in the air once we beat your ass. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bruno Baller says, so is Larry Fitzgerald's future still up in the air? Could he possibly still play this year? Yeah, he could if he wants to.
Yeah.
But see, that's an odd sort of place to be. So Larry Fitzgerald, my wife says, well, I think he was just sort of hanging back and waiting to see what kind of team the Arizona Cardinals would have. And then, if that looks good, he'll jump back in because by God, they owe that man a Super Bowl, don't they? But then the longer he waits to jump back in, doesn't it start to feel kind of like, come on, Larry, why didn't you, when is it okay and when is it not okay for Larry to jump back in on this?
I think Larry is looking at this situation. I personally, I don't know Larry. He knows me apparently very well. He calls me the Hall of Famer, but
no, he does.
But aside from that, I think Larry is not that type of a guy. I don't think he's going to go in and try to ruin any sort of chemistry that's going on.
Right.
He can see this team is performing well with its current setup. And by the way, I was thinking about this yesterday too. If by chance the Cardinals were to go on and somehow perform the miraculous and win a Super Bowl for the great state of Arizona, I think the Cardinals ownership, I think Mr. Bidwill would probably give Larry a Super Bowl ring anyway.
But it'd be empty.
I
don't think Larry would want it. I don't think Larry would want it because he stepped away. And I don't think he'd want it. Can I tell you where Larry Fitzgerald does find himself back in an Arizona Cardinals uniform? One guy gets injured, and he will come back.
I don't know.
If the Cardinals continue to be this competitive, somebody gets injured, I bet he comes back in and says, okay, I'll go ahead and come back in and help out because now I'm needed. I feel like I'm needed. And I think that people would be thrilled. I think that is the only scenario.
Absolutely, people would be thrilled, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think he is quietly. He wants no pomp and circumstance. He's not that kind of a person. You know that, Jeffrey. He very back, kind of behind the camera kind of guy. He's not a guy that likes the spotlight at all. So very quiet individual. He's probably, to be honest with you, he's probably retired and called it a career. He's just doing it Larry's way, very quietly, sort of in the background.
I hope if there is an injury that he does come back. It doesn't just any injury, any wide receiver goes down, let Larry come back. And I almost wonder if they've already had this conversation.
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder if Larry has talked to Steve Keim, Cliff Kingsbury, and Michael Bidwell and said, I think I'm good, guys. But if you have an injury and you need me and you guys are contending, all right, I'll come back. I'll be happy to come back. I have nothing to back this up, but I just really believe that is a true statement. Now, I'll be proven wrong. They get an injury and he's not back. Right?
No, Larry.
Well, there you go.
But I feel like that's the only way he can come back without looking bad. Because does he look bad if he's like, okay, now they're 5-0, and he's like, hey guys, I'm back.
I don't think he would do that at all.
Because suddenly he looks like a bandwagon guy,
Yeah, I don't think he would do that at all.
No, it just doesn't seem like him as from what we've seen as a person. He doesn't seem like a front runner guy. And also, I don't know what else Larry Fitzgerald has to prove in this league. Like, I don't know what a Super Bowl ring does. Like, I'm sure it would feel good to have one. But as far as his legacy is concerned, how his peers in the league respect him, how fans around the league look at Larry Fitzgerald, I don't think a Super Bowl ring adds any more to how great a career he's had.
No,
it's the only thing he's missing, though. And you don't think that occurs to him. I guarantee you it occurs to him. He's not an ego guy. He's not a shallow type person. And I think that he's more than the sum of his football accomplishments. He's a deep thinker. He's a great guy. He's full of some, charitable. But that's the only thing he's missing. And I guarantee you, even Larry, it occurs to him. It's got to occur to him. It's got to be that one thing. So I don't want anybody to get injured to find out.
No, dear God, no.
And they're deep at receiver too. So,
but I think that'll be the door opening for Larry Fitzgerald to get back into a Cardinals uniform for one last go. All right, boy, we are still very much behind in everything we're trying to talk about today. We got another half hour to try to catch up. That's right. Only a half hour. Baby got Dak, you're right. What a great weekend of football it was. She says, I want to remind you that I texted over the summer before the season, said the Cardinals will be in first place, and you all laughed at me, including Randy and Ralph from Harmon Solar. Not so funny now, is it, guys? I don't think Randy would have laughed at you.
That doesn't sound like a Randy thing, but it does sound like Ralph. Ralph would have laughed at that.
It does a lot like Ralph. Yes, you were right about that, Baby got Dak. All right, guys, we'll catch up on your texts and more football when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Mortgage interest rates remain near historic lows. So whether you're wanting to lower your interest rate, take cash out to remodel your home, or pay off credit card or installment debt, now is the perfect time to refinance or purchase a home. Call David White at 480-244-6625. 480-244-6625 to review your mortgage options and to take advantage of David's 32 years of industry experience, incredible customer service, and competitive interest rates. We shop the market for the best interest rates so you don't have to. So call David at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Call David now to discuss your mortgage options and before interest rates go up at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Don't wait. Call today and take advantage of the low rates. David White, NMLS 322907 of AmeriFirst Financial Inc. NMLS 145368, an equal housing opportunity lender.
Did you get all the stimulus money for you and your family? Do you have children and didn't know you could receive monthly child tax credit payments? You can claim your monthly child tax credit payments and missing stimulus payments, even if you don't file a traditional tax return. Visit ssa.gov/EIP to learn how you can apply online. Get the money your family deserves. Visit ssa.gov/EIP. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Sponsored by SSA.
Everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends who've used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time, and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
There's a time to be fearful and a time to be calm. A time to be aggressive and a time to be conservative, especially when it comes to investing. You've heard the phrase, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, president of Compact Asset Management. At Compact, we strive to provide you with the tools and experience it takes to be in the right place at the right time to grow and protect your hard-earned money. Call pound 250 on the cell phone and say, talk to Mo, and let's check your goals together. You'll get a free portfolio review and risk analysis, and we'll focus on your investment strategies. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say, talk to Mo, or visit us online at compact.com. That's COMPAK.com.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside my heterosexual life partner, Randy White. We got Keon Rose pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Holy crap, are we behind? We have only done 5 games, so 6 games. We count the Cardinals. 6 games. We got 10 more games to talk about. We are very behind, and now we only have 30 minutes to do it. We keep getting distracted. I mean, I say we cancel Monday Night Football and just finish the show. What do you guys say?
Absolutely. Let's do that. Not on your life, Jeffrey. We're going to get off the air in 30 minutes.
He's got beers chilling and
Yes,
waiting.
I do. Yes, I do.
Yankees Evil Empire. Interesting idea. I'll consider it. Mr. Wilbur says, so allow me to jinx myself and my Cardinals. I'm supposed to go on a cruise that leaves Sunday of Super Bowl Sunday. How mad will I be if we go to the Super Bowl and I don't even get to watch it and enjoy it?
Last time I checked, those cruise ships, they've got the Wi-Fi and they've got ways for
True.
you to follow along. And if that's not the case, I'm very sorry.
No.
And I will keep you up to date via text if I have to.
Sure. Mr. Wilbur is a baller, so he got the money to go to the game. So Thunder Snow says Larry Fitzgerald is content in retirement, but well, you're right. If there's an injury in the wide receiver core, he will come back to help out. I sure hope so. Mars Bars 805 says it's not a Chargers home game tonight. It's a Raiders home game. Just wait and see the crowd. Okay. You're going to see the silver and black just take over.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to make that comment. Yeah. Last hour, I believe the Raider faithful from Oakland. They're going to make the trek.
Yeah, absolutely going to be a dominant Raider crowd. Case the Cook says first snap of the Cardinal season, Larry was officially retired. Fed Fan says, hey, even though it's officially Taco Day, I'm going to Sardella's and get some chicken Parmesan sandwich. Oh, those are so good. Those are so good over there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sardella's?
Yeah.
I haven't had chicken Parmesan sandwich in a long time because my wife makes healthy food. Damn it. Is there a healthy way to make it?
Were we talking about something unhealthy? I would like to hear about this.
Is there a healthy way to make a chicken Parmesan sandwich? Or at least just to fool my wife into thinking there is?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, Fed Fan for the win. Good for you. Just Tip says, ironic that Ralph from Harmon Solar spent every minute on air demanding that we all bow down to the greatness is the Sea Loons, and now he's gone. Now they're 1-3. The Sea Loons are not even middle of the road. You are correct, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Big George says, I've been waiting for your hard-hitting analysis in the Buffalo Bills and Houston Texans game. That was the closest game of the weekend. Well, we already did it, George, so sorry. You have to go listen to the podcast. But you know what's probably a good idea, Randy?
What's that?
I think we should do On This Date in Big George's Sports History early.
Just right now, because it's been that kind of show.
It's been that kind of show.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's Sports History. Back in the year 1987, the NFL owners used unknown replacement players for the first time in league history when the regular players struck for the right to gain free agency. Average attendance dropped from 59,824 the week before to 16,947, which coincidentally is twice the average home attendance of a Arizona football game. Yeah, but the strike and replacements that lasted for like 3 weeks, and then the owners settled the players, and the rest is history. But those scab teams did pretty good. Some of them helped get. I think the Washington football team guys helped get them into the playoffs, didn't they?
They did, yeah. I mean, that was one of those games, and I believe they played the Eagles. I think at one point, and all of the Eagles replacement players got injured in the body bag game, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that was a good collection of guys.
Yeah, it was a fun. It was. I wonder if they're ever going to make a movie about that. Probably not, because the strike ended too soon. But it was still interesting.
I think the replacements is loosely based on that. Very loosely.
Oh, okay, you know what? I think you're right. Thunder Snow says, "Thanks for making us all hungry, Fed Fan." And now Big Ted says, "I take it you guys are going to want some Sardellas." Don't think I'd say no to that, huh, Randy?
Not at all.
I can't say no to it because I don't know.
And what's this? Holy crap!
Yes.
Just the Tip took notes on your show. He actually sent me a photograph of the handwritten notes that he took during the show.
Which show is that?
Or is this all of our shows? What in the heck is this? Well, whatever the case, he says that you had a fantastic race setup. And of course, Chief had Bubba Wallace to win, and
yeah, he did.
That was pretty good right there. He says, yeah, he took a full page of notes, and then something on there about me, or was it me or somebody else named Jeff winning the lottery? And
Jeff Striegel, yeah, they were talking about
Striegel.
Jeff Striegel winning the lottery. Yeah, Chief
I'm gonna grab this and send you the picture. I think you might get a kick.
That's crazy. Well, thank you.
And what in your history has got you with the idea that just the tip is not, a little crazy? Fish Tank says, well, I'm glad I didn't try to bet you anything, Jeffrey. Holy hell, the Dolphins are so bad now. I had such high hopes this year, and it's amazing what 4 games can do to take the sails out of your season right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I picked the Dolphins to win. So I guess we could talk about that now if you want to. The Colts won the game.
Yeah.
Much to my surprise.
And looked pretty good doing it.
Really? You think they look good?
Yeah, they look decent. I mean, they didn't look like they fell backwards into a victory. They looked like
they
went
out
of that game.
Yeah, they actually played the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I hate my team so much I didn't even print a sheet on it. I was looking through my stack here, and I'm like, holy crap, yeah, I didn't even print one on the Colts. That's psychological, isn't it? Right there. Let's just say I'm watching the game, and you got to give Carson Wentz at least some sort of man card accreditation for playing on 2 hurt ankles. But if people are like, hey, aren't you happy? Aren't you happy? No, because I told you what was going to happen before the season even started. And everything I predicted is coming true. And your random texter is right. It's more about how bad the Dolphins looked and not how good the Colts looked. And by the way,
I don't know.
Can we review? They played a backup quarterback. Jacoby Brissett is a backup quarterback. That's what they beat.
I don't think that they beat them because Jacoby Brissett is a backup quarterback. For no other reason than Jacoby Brissett played really well. They had like 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns in that game, if I recall correctly. Look, the Dolphins can't run the football. Like, that's really where this comes down to, is the Dolphins are already bad at running the football. But then when you add to the fact that the Colts are really damn good at stopping the run, they were able to get those possessions back. They were able to stop Miami from really gaining any momentum, because I thought Jacoby Brissett actually played really well. His stat line is actually eerily similar to Carson Wentz's, because they both threw for a couple of touchdowns and over a couple 100 yards. So I really thought that the Colts actually earned this win. I know it doesn't feel like it to you because you've got the pessimism glasses on, but I thought they played really well.
They'll probably win every 4th game.
That's
it.
Well,
that's my Colts this year.
I don't know about that. Your Colts had a total yardage of 349 yards. That's a good game. 210 passing, 139 rushing. They averaged 5.2 yards per. This is a pretty good game. They got 20 first downs. They were 6 of 15 on 3rd downs. They went for it on 4th down one time and they got it. I mean, they ran 67 plays. Jeffrey, they had a good game. They controlled the clock. They controlled the game. The penalties kind of ate them up. They had 8 penalties for 86 yards. But
may I quote myself?
Sure.
When I say 2 crap teams play each other. and you end up with what looks like a good game.
Okay. Wow. Well, then how about this? Because you're saying they're going to win every 4th game. Next week they play Baltimore.
Maybe. Oh, they'll lose that.
But after that they've got Houston, San Francisco, Tennessee, who lost to the Jets, and then the Jaguars. There's a stretch of games there. You could win 3 out of those 5, maybe
and then
even
lose
4.
like 10. Okay, that's cool.
Wow. Yeah, that's my pal, though. That's what he does. That's what he does.
I don't want to. Clearly, even subconsciously, I don't want to talk about the Colts. And I'm sorry, Fish Tank. I know you had high hopes for your team this year. Hey, so did I till Carson Wentz showed up. So, all right. Hey, let's talk about the Cowboys handing the Panthers their first loss. And suddenly Ezekiel Elliott just showed up, didn't he? Suddenly he was going. Let me give you an idea of why that's kind of interesting. The Panthers had the #1 ranked run defense, and the Cowboys went off on them for 245 yards. against the number 1 ranked run defense. Now, I don't know if this is just a special day. I don't know if this was a bad day for the Panthers run defense. I don't know quite what to make about all this. But yeah, the Cowboys handled the Panthers easily, 36-14.
I thought that Ezekiel Elliott had been playing well the last couple of weeks, but this is the best performance that he's turned in so far. And it obviously hurts the Panthers to not have Christian McCaffrey. There's no counter to that. Once one team is just running the ball and running the ball and running the ball, the Panthers would love to be the team that says, hey, we can do that too, and kind of balance the whole thing out and not put everything on Sam Darnold.
Not even about the balance, about the defense of the Panthers. They only usually allow 45 yards a game. And now they're like, here's 200 extra, go with that, guys. So whether the Panthers had McCaffrey to run or not, didn't stop the Cowboys. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's just a time possession thing. You know, I mean, when the Cowboys had the ball, they were just moving it, but they got way more opportunities because, especially in the second half, the Panthers really couldn't keep drives going. And look, Ezekiel Elliott has been spectacular. He when he has room to run, he is like right up there as the conversation for like one of the best running backs in football. He's that good, but they haven't had room to run the past several years. But with Dak throwing the ball the way that he is, guess what you can't do? You can't put 7-8 guys in the box and then try to just eliminate Ezekiel Elliott from the game.
I got to disagree with you. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott has looked very good at all. Pollard was able to find some space a lot more often in the previous games. And then Zeke Elliott ends up being a glorified bodyguard to Dak Prescott. You're paying that guy bazillions of dollars just to try to block and try to keep Dak Prescott from getting hurt again. And maybe that's important enough, but can't you throw a tight end in there to do that? I didn't feel like Zeke Elliott has even been present for a lot of the games. Unless, I mean, again, maybe I know the stat line is misleading.
The week 1, he was not good. He was completely garbage. I thought he played a whole lot better in the following weeks, and it's been steadily building. And I think that this is his best performance so far.
All right. Well, that we can agree on. And the proof is in the pudding on that because Dallas won that game. The Browns were able to beat the Vikings. And as you've noticed, not a whole lot of Vikings fans saying a whole lot today. And you got to look at this. And Mike Zimmer, that job has got to be in jeopardy at about now.
Got to believe it. And I can't believe the Vikings are struggling like this. I know they've got Kirk Cousins. That's the punchline to the joke. I realize that. But their defense has never really been the way they are this year. And I don't know if it's bad, if it's lackadaisical, if they're just not motivated, or Zimmer's lost the locker room. I can't put my finger on it. The Vikings generally come into a game and have a pretty damn stout defense. And then their offense is what it is. You get what you get out of Kirk Cousins. You don't really have any running game to speak of this season.
Or was Dalvin Cook yesterday?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dalvin Cook didn't play well, but part of that is this Browns defense is legitimately good. And I want to say about Mike Zimmer and his defense, he did hold the Browns to 14 points. It's not like the Browns were just going off like gangbusters and then they lost the game. Like, no, he held the Browns. His own offense just went up against an even better defense. Myles Garrett had a play where he took their left tackle and drove him into Kirk Cousins' face. Just blew him apart. There's not a whole lot of answers for what Myles Garrett is doing this season. He could be the defensive MVP of the league.
Now hold on about the Vikings defense being really good. What I saw was old insurance salesman, the fellow who lives at the stadium. What's his name? Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. I saw Baker Mayfield opening, open receiver, miss, open receiver, miss, open receiver. He was 15 of 33. He only passed for 155 yards.
Yeah.
And missing an open receiver is not so much on the defense, unless you're going to say it was the pressure that caused that miss, but Baker Mayfield, even admittedly on his own behalf, he said, yeah, he was horse crap yesterday.
I thought he was under pressure a decent amount, but look, there were some throws where there was no pressure and Baker just by himself overthrew receivers. There's also a run that he had where he was trying to like dead leg guys. I don't understand. Baker, ever since they paid him, it's been kind of a mess. Maybe they should have waited until the end of the season. I have no idea. But what I do know is I don't think that defense made so many mistakes that you have to look at Mike Zimmer and go, what's wrong with your defense? I mean, he is still on the hot seat, that's for sure. But
Listen, the Vikings have been a feckless team for more than a few years, and you got to look to the head coach on that one.
Of course.
There needs to be a little bit of a shake of the Etch-a-Sketch over your head on the Vikings to get that thing right.
Because there's something that's off there, and the head coach sets the tone.
Team that should be doing better. Hey, you guys want to see a screenshot of my favorite moment from yesterday? I flipped over because I saw that a certain game was going to go overtime between the Giants and the Saints, and Jabril Peppers is there during. Did you see that? I saw this live, and I was sitting there with a 16-year-old kid. I was like, he's like, did he say the F word? I'm like,
sure
yes, he did. During the coin toss, he calls he called tails. The other guy calls heads. It goes tails, and he goes, boom, we want the ball. F them. Like, he was just like, F those guys. We want the ball. And he's like, boom. Like, he was like making that move. And it's just like, I'm like, this guy's going to be, that was national television. You can get in trouble for that.
He can. Jabril Peppers, I don't know if you ever got to see him before this. Jabril Peppers has one setting, and it's 115. There is no.
Maybe don't let him go near an open mic.
No,
next time.
probably not. When they set him out for the coin toss, I didn't know it was going to be all that. That's for sure.
Well, he was already. I couldn't make out what he said to the other guy right before. He was chirping on the other guy already, and then after they won the toss, oh yeah, somebody should have probably turned off that mic. But that was a fun moment. And then Saquon Barkley made some people happy. He got back and got himself a touchdown and an overtime win over New Orleans. And boy, I'm still looking at a Jekyll and Hyde Jameis Winston right now. What is the reality on Jameis Winston? I can't quite tell.
But this is the reality on Jameis Winston. This was Jameis Winston before. I think it's less extreme. There's not as many interceptions being thrown literally all over the place. But this was always Jameis's thing. Was Jameis would have games where he'd look great. You go, if he plays 16 games like that, he's an MVP. And then he has another game where he looks awful, and you go, you play 16 games like that, you're out of the league. Jameis has that wide a variance, and I think this entire Saints team, to be completely honest with you, has taken on the personality of Jameis Winston. Wow. They all play this way. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Randy, do you have Alvin Kamara in fantasy football?
No, I do not.
Keon, do you have Alvin Kamara in fantasy football? I feel sorry for whoever has, because Taysom Hill is a son of a bitch.
A vulture is what he is.
Yeah, Taysom. Here's what happens. Alvin Kamara will run, and get you close to the goal line. And then Sean Payton, who hates Alvin Kamara and everybody who has him in fantasy football, throws Taysom Hill in there for a trick play. And then he runs and he dives over in the end zone. He's like, ha, 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 ha. And Alvin Kamara's just like, this guy here. He went with Alvin Kamara, did not even get a single pass. For the first time in his NFL career, he wasn't even targeted by Jameis Winston. And then Taysom Hill gets to run in 2 touchdowns. So I'm sure Alvin's just like, please trade me. This is killing my stats. This is killing me. Why? I mean, and then we don't even win. I think you can take that sort of nonsense a lot better when you win. But then Alvin Kamara has just been rendered sort of useless.
Yeah, and guys do think about that stuff. It matters to them. I remember watching a documentary about the great Walter Payton and how it bothered him that in the Super Bowl, William the Refrigerator Perry is the one scoring touchdowns after he did all the running. Yeah. It matters to guys to be able to. That's the ultimate reward for literally everything you did on the field up until the moment you got to the end zone.
Good strategy by the coach, but not real fair to your player. But so I guess we can debate another time. What is right, what is wrong? Because you're going for the win, but I don't know. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will try to cram in a whole lot more games. We will not succeed, but we'll try before we get to Monday Night Football at 4:30. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
With Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One with a preview of a great game to wrap up Week 4. 2 of the hottest teams in the NFL, the 3-0 Raiders at the 2-1 Chargers. And Kurt, it's a big-time AFC West rivalry. Also, 2 very good teams.
Well, no doubt about it, Kevin. And there's going to be 22 guys on the field at any given time. But you know that everybody's going to be talking about the 2 guys behind center, 2 guys that are in the MVP conversation right now, starting with Derek Carr, who's come out hitting lights out at this point in time, got his team undefeated at this point in time, really playing good football. And on the other side, the second-year player in Justin Herbert is making big play after big play.
It's going to be a beauty. The Raiders at the Chargers on Monday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? Our professional parts people will test it for free. If it does need to be replaced, we'll help you find just the right one to fit your car. Our Superstar batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. That's 800-807-1981.
How do you create certainty with your money in uncertain times? Hi, I'm Terrence, host of the Your Personal Bank Show. In this low interest rate environment, most financial tools are generating extremely low returns. We have companies who are currently paying 6% plus dividends and have for the past 25 plus years. Let's have a conversation. Contact me at yourpersonalbank.com or tune in to the Your Personal Bank Show Tuesdays at noon or Thursdays at 1 on Money Radio.
Get your college game on. Get ready for the fight songs. Get ready for the traditions. Get ready for the rivalries. It's college football.
He's gone. There he goes. Through the line. He'll take it to the house, 90 yards.
And we've got the games you want to hear.
Wide open, and the tight end will walk to the end zone.
College football lives on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And with the next 5 minutes, we can't cover every NFL football game like we hoped we would.
Sure we could, Jeffrey. What are you talking about?
Nah, I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward to the end. And that was last night's game. Everybody thought it was going to be a great big deal. Am I the only person who thinks after hearing Bill say, "Oh my God, what a great game! It was a shame it had to end with somebody winning." Blah, blah. That was a horrible game. That wasn't a great game. That was a horrible game.
Well, it seemed like it was a slow game. Yeah.
It was just not. Okay. Okay. We have found Tom Brady's kryptonite. Suddenly it's rain. He can't do crap in the rain. I told my wife, I said, watch. When the rain lets up, he'll start throwing like Tom Brady again. But until then, they're going to have to keep this thing on the ground. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And it just was bad. It was bad. And it was bad football. First off, don't get so happy. Tom Brady proved it. He won the game, so he's better than Belichick. No, nobody. We proved nothing. This proved nothing between the two of these guys. It was bad football. Did you watch? Did you watch?
Yeah.
Did you think it was good football?
I enjoyed the last quarter.
That's not an answer.
That is an answer.
One quarter good.
I'm agreeing with you. It wasn't.
You know what you enjoyed? You enjoyed the drama.
If the 75% of the game is bad, the game's bad. I enjoyed one quarter in a game that is 60 minutes long. It wasn't good. The rain. It wasn't just Tom Brady that couldn't do crap in the rain. By the way, Mac Jones didn't look good in the rain either.
Well, he's a rookie.
He's a rookie, but
and I'll be honest, he looked a little sharper than Tom Brady a lot of the time. In the rain.
I agree, but I'm just saying it led to the two of them and those two offenses not being really enjoyable to watch for most of that game.
Hey, Randy, remember when I said that I kind of like Chris Collinsworth? He doesn't bother me. I don't know what your problem with it is. F Chris Collinsworth. I am sick to tired of that guy. Oh my God, he's gotten worse. It is horrible.
What did he
do? I
was
was sitting there listening to him and just like, dude, are you watching the right game? Shut up, Chris. Shut up.
I will say about Chris Collinsworth that he, for certain players in this league, there's an agenda. He has it. And if you've got a team or a couple of teams he's more neutral on, he doesn't really care. Collinsworth, fantastic. When it's somebody like Brady or Belichick and he just likes those guys, it's a little insufferable.
Cohen Skiddo says, hey, did Jabril Peppers get a flag for taunting during that coin toss when he said the F word? You know what he got? No, he got an eye roll from the ref is what he got. He's like, okay, whatever.
I don't think he didn't direct it at any specific person, so I guess,
right.
I guess not.
He directed the entire team, really. F them. Give us the ball. F those guys. Lost Toby says, I enjoyed the game playing against Tom Brady in fantasy football and winning by 3 points in the end. That's not what we're talking about, Lost Toby. We're talking about the actual game there.
Yeah.
All right. So here comes old Tommy Brady. He's back in Foxborough. They a little tribute, a little video. And they're like, yay, we love you, Tommy. We love you. Game starts. Boo.
Good.
I love it.
That was exactly right.
Yeah.
That was exactly right.
And that's the way those guys are there in the New England. Look, I appreciate the fact that you gave us 6 world championships, but what have you done for us lately? Oh, you're on the other team. Boo. I mean, I love that kind of thing. I thought the game stunk. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, all the hype and all the drama going into this game, and you mean you can't squeeze out more than 17 points? Give me a break.
Oh, man, we're out of time already. Okay, here's some other notes. Gronkowski, it was a shame he couldn't play, but boy, I found out he had 4 cracked ribs and a punctured lung. Man card accreditation for that. Richard Sherman, as you thought, yes, Patriots did go right at him. Yes, they had a lot of success doing it. Richard Sherman should not be doing anything. He only effective in a zone defense, and all he could do is tackle the guy. He wasn't covering or stopping nothing.
He looked like a man that literally just got signed to a football team because he's a man who literally just got signed to a football team.
Yeah. Last night was all about the rain. That's all that was about. We've got some other stuff. Like tomorrow, we're going to have to still talk about some of that damn game because the hell is wrong with Bill Belichick's son, for one thing. I'll explain that, I guess, more. Game's up next. Bye. We're out of time. Bye.
Jacobs and Haley, 6 to 10 weekday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.